Good morning, and welcome back to Rise and Shine College Football. I'm your host, Jason Watkins, and if you love college football, you know you're in the right place. So before you forget, smash that red subscriber button, like our videos, and don't forget to ring that bell so you don't miss one moment. Hall of Fame college football. Guys, we're going to get right into our discussion this morning. We only got a little bit of time with Jaden O'Neal, Mustang quarterback, so we're going to bring him in just a second, but just wanted to say hello to everybody in here in the chat. Bishop Frank, Brian Sandlin, let's see, Sugo English, Scott Walker, what's up? Kimberly K, good to see everybody in here. Glad to see everybody in here to check out the interview we're going to do here with Oklahoma commit and 4-star top 15 overall recruit in the 2026 recruiting class. We're excited about getting an opportunity to talk to him. He had a showcase this Monday there in Mustang, and apparently from everything we're hearing, balled right out. So excited to have him on the show with us this morning. Let's see, let me get him in here. Welcome into the show, sir, Mr. Jaden O'Neal. What's up, my guy? Oh, I think you are, let me see. Hit that unmute button.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Good morning. Thank you for allowing me to be, on your stage, man. This is honestly a blessing. Got a great setup here. So,
hey, thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. We, like I said, we've been enjoying kind of watching your development and stuff like that as over the last couple. You've been already committed to OU for over a year now, right?
Man, almost. I think it's about 11 months now. I think June will make it a year. I think late June is when I end up committing. I think it was June 27th or 28th, one of the two.
Right on. Okay, yeah. So that's, man. Well, first of all, welcome to Rise and Shine College Football. I mean, I'm really honored to have you on here with me today. And fans around Oklahoma and really around the country, I know, have been buzzing about getting you into the fold in their programs and stuff. And obviously, you've been committed with OU, and we're excited to have the opportunity to see you play in the palace. But talk to us a little bit about. Obviously, you had some time there. I mean, 3 schools and 3 years there in California, but the last year was kind of wild. That junior year there, you guys had some games that you had to forfeit, then you won some games by forfeit, and then you kind of went off in your league season, right?
So really, that year, we didn't play the full 10 regular season games.
Yeah,
I believe it was we played 6 regular season games. During that time, we were 4-2, beat a couple formidable opponents. And then when it came down to go to league, all 4 of those teams signed a petition to end up forfeiting. Whether it was fear or they just weren't, they didn't feel like they were either prepared enough, or they felt like things and some of the transfers that we had, felt like they just weren't prepared for it. So they all came together in the league and signed a petition. So that kind of just fueled us, going into playoffs, and we ended up, winning the city championship, of course.
Yeah.
Overall, just a solid, experience at Narbonne. A season that will never be forgotten,
right.
Especially for all the stuff that we went through. So I was just blessed I was able to play with a group of guys, and it was just I don't know, just one of those experiences, man. I honestly can't forget, especially. But nowadays, you can always just go back and just memorize, those certain highlights of the season.
Yeah, no doubt. And then I was that playoff game, first round playoff game, man, what a what a performance. 7 total touchdowns, over 300 passing yards. You didn't throw the ball that much. It was like 15 to 20, weren't you, in that game? But out of those 15 passes, you had 6 touchdowns. You were throwing some dimes there. I'm about to throw it up on the screen here too. So let's see. Right. Oh, it'll be on in a second. But talk about that game, because, man, you even ran one in after that. So 7 total touchdowns overall. Yeah. What a game.
Yeah, that was actually the championship game. My first playoff game, we were off for about 6 weeks. So I had 4. I had 4 touchdowns. I had 3 passing and 1 running. But yeah, it was just constantly like throughout the playoffs, just getting better. Just felt like the chemistry and the development, with the guys, and just understanding that, with we kind of were placed on a handicap. They took 8 of our players away, so we were able to adjust, and I'm glad we were able to bring it all through. Come championship time. So
What was that about taking? I mean, your pops was telling me about that. That a lot of the guys that you had catching balls usually played defensive back, is what he was saying.
yeah, I had a couple DBs and linebackers catching my balls. So it was really just like a league thing. CIF in the city section, they took 8 of our players away just because, some paperwork stuff or transfer stuff just wasn't, fully aligned. And then, you know, that was we got that news right before the first game, so we
Right.
just adjust and play with the guys that we had, and everybody did excellent. This was the championship game, though, this one. So the first
Uh-huh.
game, it was a little bit newer for us, to be able to. That was a home game, so it was a little bit new, and we had to just kind of adjust, overall.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, again, yeah. So a 71-35 rout of San Pedro. That was that game that we were talking about at first, and then you beat Dorsey.
Yes,
What
sir.
was that, 47-13? So kind of went out there. You had 405 passing yards in that one as well. So,
Yes,
and
sir.
then your playoff victory was over Birmingham. Is that right?
Birmingham, yeah, it was
Yeah.
overall team win, so we were able to kind of come together. A lot more running. It was crazy conditions that I think that night. It was super cold. A lot of it was pretty muddy on the ground as well because our field wasn't the best, but we were able to come out on top, and my guys pulled it through.
Yeah. I mean, that, what is it like to kind of go through some of those, obviously trials and tribulations? You had some adversity there, with the team. So to kind of get an opportunity to go out there and still win your league championship and get a playoff win too. In California, that's tough high school football, man.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, yeah, California football is like the best football, and I feel like it was only going to prepare me for the SEC. Being
Right.
an OU, coming from a historic Big 12, Big 10. No, is it Big 12? It's Big
Big
12,
12
right?
is where you used
Yeah,
to be.
yeah, Big 12. And then, going to the SEC, I feel like that's only going to prepare me. And, I feel like my leadership with the guys is only going to translate. I feel like I'm not the most vocal guy in the world, but I know, when to say the right things. And I'm more of a lead by example kind of guy. So you're not going to see a lot of rah rah with me, but, I'll be able to, get the guys going and just to be able to, just be a leader. So I feel like my leadership, is solid.
Hey man, and that's where it's at. When quarterbacks got to run the show and lead the program all the way through it. How would you describe your playing style though? I mean, as far as we just saw you making some runs there, and I know you're not considered like a dual threat, but you can get after it a little bit running too, right?
Yes, sir. I feel like my athleticism doesn't get looked at enough, but yeah, I'm a pro style quarterback, so I feel like
Yeah,
my arm strength, my accuracy, is one of the key highlights of my game. When it comes down to just throwing the football, and I feel like in a game situation, I feel like I'm able to adapt to any situation thrown at me. Like whether we're down, whether we're up, whether we're in a shootout, no matter who the opponent is, I feel like my preparation going into that week, I'm able to adapt and kind of understand, who my opponent is at the end of the day.
right on, right on. I like it. So you talked a little bit about being in California and playing in that, and I know you've done it over the last couple of years too. So one of your first, obviously, Narbonne is where you played there your last year. What's it been like just this move? I know you just moved in the last couple of months, so to be in Oklahoma, it's got to be a little bit different. But what's it been like? How do you feel like you've been received there at Mustang?
Welcome in arms. It's a great community, great group of guys, great coaching staff. So when I got there, kid coming from Cali, it's a little bit of different, just mannerisms, different, people, how they act. And just to be able to just to go in the situation and finally just feel wanted is definitely special. My biggest thing, I just want to play where I feel wanted. So they welcome me at the end of the day with open arms, and I was just able to just get right in, get straight to work because I'm all about the work. So
Yeah,
great strength and conditioning coach, Coach Duran, great head coach, Coach Blankenship. just overall great team as well. So solid, solid group of guys.
Well, what attracted you to Mustang? I mean, I think that there's obviously 6A football in Oklahoma. You want to be at the top league and everything, but what attracted you specifically to Coach Blankenship, or what appealed to you about Mustang the most?
How close it was to OU. We, made the move, to be closer to OU. So I feel like, with the resources that they had and the great community, after we did our research, we were able to, finally, pull through with the move and just
Yeah,
to see, how a lot of people get a lot of love at OU. I feel like the same. It's like the same at Mustang. Of course, it's not gonna be on the same scale because it's not as
of course
as
not. Yeah,
much
yeah,
people,
yeah.
but it's a small community, but get a lot of great love around.
Okay. And Coach Blankenship, how did your interactions with him kind of influence that decision? Was it something about his offense? Was it something that you just, that stood out to you as far as he goes? He's going into year 6, I think, there at Mustang.
I believe so. Yeah, I mean, just his character. He's a man of God. He's very honest. He's gonna not sugarcoat things. He's gonna, tell it exactly how it is. So I feel like with his certain characteristics, it kind of just fit. Just like my dad as well, because he wants somebody who's like a father figure, on the field as well.
Right,
So I
right.
feel like it kind of, just fit like my father. So um, yeah, he's a great guy, great father, great husband, great head coach as well. So just a great human being all around, and I feel like that's gonna help us during the season.
Right, right. I talking to you talking about your dad there, and tell me a little bit about you guys' relationship. I mean, I know how much he just loves watching. He's proud of you, man. He loves watching you play and everything that you've done. We've talked a lot about that, but talk about the relationship you have with your pops.
But yeah, football is what helps us like be together. But you know, just being off the field, you get a lot of people asking us, "Are we twins?" Because I look like my father, and
Yeah,
I sound like my dad as well. So just to be able to just grow up like with my dad, I felt like I had like an older brother house as well. Because
yeah.
um, just to be able to look up to my dad, and to understand the ins and outs of life. And to know, I've always had him, in my corner. He's always had my back. So, my dad is somebody who I look up to, definitely like my hero. And yeah, man, I mean, it's just been like an amazing journey. My dad being able to, kind of create a path for me and me being able to succeed, in those moments. And it's just a blessing to see. And, just have my dad, like I said, in my corner is just because nowadays, a lot of kids don't have their fathers in their lives. So I just make sure I want to cherish mine and just to be able to have that great relationship. Kind of helps with sports and then, just everything around life as well.
No doubt. No doubt. I get it too, man. And it's funny, we were talking a few weeks back. And now obviously with your recruitment and everything, I know you're committed to Oklahoma, but you've had a couple of trips lately, and we're talking about you've had offers to basically every school, the big time program in the country. You got offers to Georgia and Oregon, and you know, uh, obviously Florida State was big up on the list there, and really Florida State. I was loving. I saw the video there of they kind of gave you the program welcome is what we call. Me and your pops were talking about the program welcome. The only thing they didn't have was the cheerleaders out there. It seemed like, but what is it like to kind of get that experience when you go to some of these places?
Um, yeah, when you go to some of these places, man, you just feel wanted at the end of the day.
Mhm.
I feel like being out of Florida State, the tradition is heavy. I just feel like a winning program, a team that carries a high history of, great players, and I just felt like, being there was definitely, a great experience. It's definitely in a different state, kind of get that Cali kind of vibe just because of the weather. And
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, great coaching staff. And overall, just a great visit. I'm glad I was able to, head there.
Yeah, right after that, you were at Auburn as well, right?
Yes, sir, as well. Auburn. Uh, Took a flight to Atlanta, Georgia, about an hour drive. So, I mean, I was glad I was able to get there just to maintain those relationship with Ken Austin and Jesse Stone. So, you know, uh, they have a lot of great stuff going on over there. Got
Mhm.
a young quarterback group. You got Deuce Knight, Jackson Arnold, recently from OU. So, and a great wide receiver core as well. Though I feel like that kind of looked at Auburn as well. So I feel like they should do good, like in the SEC this year.
Yeah, because they kind of struggled a little bit last year after, and it was kind of messed up the way that the whole thing went down with the playoff stuff. But with Coach Norvell, I mean, talk about guys like that. I mean, obviously, Coach Norvell, he's looking to kind of move the program forward even more. A lot of changes coming to college football over the next few years. Did you see it differently than you did when you first started out on this journey to like how things are going to be in college football? Because you've seen a lot of transfers. I mean, you brought up Jackson Arnold a minute ago. He was at Oklahoma last year, and then he's there at Auburn and still trying to continue his journey as well. The moving around and stuff, is that something that you have to kind of prepare yourself for no matter what?
For sure, you just got to be able to understand that people are constantly moving. They're trying to find their fit at the end of the day, and my ability, to adapt, to like whether coaching staff leaves or not is I feel like it's just going to help me, come league time. In the league, a lot of stuff moves as well. You don't know what draft pick you're going to become. You don't know what guys are going to be drafted. You don't know what kind of quarterback group or wide receiver group or lineman group you'll be in the room with. So just to be able to understand that everything's a lot more fluid nowadays and not as solid as it used to be. It's just I feel like it prepares you for the next level.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, man, it's crazy, but a lot. I mean, fans are kind of crazy now about it, and I don't even blame them. The game has changed so much as far as you don't know what's going to happen. Oklahoma, obviously, you talked a little bit about that. They move into the SEC after being in the Big 12 and then Big 8 before that for so many years. So it's a new experience for us. How much playing at a school where you get that SEC competition? How much did that play into your commitment to Oklahoma?
It play, very huge, to know my development is gonna be able to, just rise, playing with grown men who are gonna be in the draft either that next year or 2 years from now. Is it only prepares you. I feel like the preparation that the SEC, gives players an opportunity, that it gives is like no other. So I think, there's other leagues, that also prepare you, ACC, Big Ten as well. On the West Coast side as well, but the SEC is like no other.
No doubt. No doubt. Well, it looks like I'm still having an issue with this other video I was trying to bring up, so I'm just gonna skip it for now. Let's see. Get some of these questions from some of these folks in there. Obviously, you're OU fans. A lot of OU fans in here. I mean, we've enjoyed watching this whole thing, and I think one of the biggest things for Oklahoma fans is that I've noticed, especially with the changes in college football, is that they want to feel like you are loyal to the program and they're loyal because they're loyal to it. Everybody's loyal to the name on the front. You obviously have to be loyal to yourself and the name on the back as well. But
For sure.
how have you found fans? Do you enjoy the interactions that you've been able to have with a lot of your Oklahoma fans?
For sure. Whether it be online or in person, I just kind of embrace it and be able to, kind of hear, people's stories is like my biggest thing. A lot of people, like a lot of fans, don't get the love and respect, just because, they're outshined by certain stars. But I'm a humble young man. I feel like, hearing their story, hearing their why as to why they may come to every single game, just having those, small interactions is big for me.
Yeah. Ryman Lemon asked this. You've been in the OKC area for a little while now. What's your favorite place to eat out here?
Place to eat. Really don't go out to eat that much, but recently, man, I went to this place called Charleston,
Uh-huh.
or either that or a place in Mustang called Local. So, solid food area.
Locals. Yeah, yeah.
Local. That's what it's called, Locals.
Okay. Okay. I like it. Hey man, yeah, it's definitely different. I guess it's a different. I mean, there's more I guess country style cooking in Oklahoma than there is in Cali, but I love it. I mean, there's always that's what I like about traveling is just like the different foods that you can get out and check out and stuff like that. But probably get a little different. Do you like Mexican food and stuff? Being from California, a lot of Mexican food.
Not a lot of it, but I mean, I definitely enjoy, whenever I eat it. And,
Yeah, no
definitely
doubt.
home cooked. That's this place called Toledo's, I think. Solid place in Mustang. So that
Okay.
had great Mexican food.
Okay. Yeah. I hadn't heard a whole lot of people talking that brag about the Mexican food in well, some people do, I guess, in Oklahoma, but I guess I'm kind of a Mexican food snob myself. That's just kind of how I am. So, hey, let's talk about your commitment to OU. Why exactly did you originally commit, and describe your relationship that you've had with Coach Venables? I know he sends text messages to you and your pops a lot and stuff like that. And so, how did how did that relationship kind of grow after you committed?
It definitely grew. To know I was able to commit to a program, to his program as well. Only helped the relationship. I honestly felt like, going to OU, like that's something that you dream about. So actually, making it, happen, that only inspired me to be, a better football player, or even just a better man in general. Coach Venables, harps on being, great, being great, yeah, and he
Mhm.
teaches us, life things like with the Soul Mission program. So I feel like that only helped like the relationship.
Okay. Okay. Um, let's see. Where was the so let's look. Yeah, with the Florida State and Auburn, what did you kind of get the most out of those ones too? I mean, obviously you're still looking at Oklahoma. You're committed to Oklahoma. I know that that's where you're at, but how important would playing immediately? Does that have a big decision in, or playing pretty quick anyway? Is that weigh into your decision much? Are you ready to kind of go in and learn and
I'm willing to play early. That's the dream, of course. I feel like any kid should want to play early. Experience is the best teacher,
sure?
and I feel like a lot of kids nowadays with the process they've allowed a dollar sign, a ranking, or the different commits in the quarterback room kind of sway their commitment. And my biggest thing is to just be able to go in a program, learn the playbook, and if I'm able to actually, play early, that's the dream, of course. But I don't mind sitting one or sitting 1.5, sitting a couple games, and then getting in early. So I feel like that's
Yeah,
all a part of the development part. I'm big on development.
sure. And obviously with Ben Arbuckle, I know you committed when it was Seth Luttrell as the offensive coordinator, but what have you seen in the Arbuckle offense that you feel like you would thrive in?
I feel like he brings that West Coast side. He wants to get the ball down the field. So, um, Arbuckle, wants to be able to throw the ball, make a lot of explosive plays, in the playbook. So, I feel like he's also balanced as well. Knows how to mix in RPO, a lot of play action as well. So I feel like that balanced version of offense is going to throw defense off guard. Going into that SEC.
Yeah, and how much of your game have you predicated on, like, learning to read defenses and stuff like that? I mean, how big a part is that of your maturation? What are you trying to get better at right now as you head into your last year in high school?
Um, Being able to anticipate a little bit, more. Playing SEC, playing against big long DBs who are being taught by some of the best. So I feel like if I'm able to anticipate the ball a little bit more, I feel like it's going to up my game at the end of the day.
Yeah. But reading defenses, is that a big part of, is that something that you learn? I know working with Juice, got to talk to him a couple of weeks ago, and he just talked about the difference he had seen in you over the last couple of years, just, with everything you've done. What talk about your work with him a little bit, and what do you guys work on?
We work on a lot of footwork stuff. It's keeping the fundamentals like the same thing. So we just make sure that we keep our base underneath, and just working on not getting so much off platform, because that's the new training style nowadays. And we just
Mhm.
make sure we could take a 3-step and be able to get that ball out on time. Take a 5-step. We work under center as well, so we try to make sure we keep that pro style kind of training. We just kind of keep it going, keep it nice and refined.
Right. Let's see. So with those visits, how much consideration do you feel like you're giving some of these other programs at this point?
Um, You just kind of just keep your options open. I feel like a lot of schools nowadays, they're trying to either take one in the class or sometimes even two, which is rare in some cases. So I
Pretty
feel
rare,
like,
yeah.
yeah, pretty rare in some cases. So I feel like if we just keep our options open and just be able to go out and see, because at the end of the day, I'm an 18-year-old kid, so I want to be able to make sure I could, see certain schools and just to be able to experience it. I feel like that'll be good as well. Hold on, I'm gonna get the charger. Oops. Yeah, I'm so sorry. Just give me
Oh,
like a quick minute, my bad.
okay, no worries. All right, let me pop this up there and get some of you guys. Good morning, chat. Appreciate everybody for coming in. Hey, we're even starting to get some AAA fam in here as well. Mary Jade, Donald Pulaw in here, Sugo English, Kimberly K, Headless Ace, Lemon, good to see you, my guy. Bob, Goated. Thanks for everybody for coming in and helping us kind of welcome him into, well, obviously welcome into the Hall of Fame family right here and coming in and checking us out with us. I appreciate you coming in and spending some time with us this morning,
Yes,
Jaden.
my bad for
Uh,
that little
no,
bit.
you're good. You're good. Don't worry. You got a lot of people excited to see, see you in here and talking. Yeah. Oh yeah. Everybody's asking about this. Have you experienced Brahms yet? Brahms is the place, man.
Yes, I have. I feel like it's an overhyped place.
Is it?
Yes, sir.
Oh no.
I pick McDonald's over Brahms. Oh
Oh,
man,
really? Even
yes.
like, so you're not big on ice cream and stuff then either, then?
No,
No?
sir. Not too much dairy. Dairy kind of.
Can't have too much of it. Yeah, right?
Yeah,
You gotta keep your body right, but man,
for sure.
you said Brahms over McDonald's, bro?
Sure.
Or McDonald's over Brahms?
Yes, sir. Any
Hey,
day.
man, good stuff. So, hey, man, thank you, Goat. Appreciate you guys all being here. Good morning,
Thank y'all
TP.
for the love.
Yeah, hey, man, everybody is showing that love. So what's your kind of goals for your senior season? What do you look at? How do you feel about this team that you're coming on to? And what you guys look like next year? What's your goals?
Great group of young men. All there for the right reasons. They're there for God. We hold Bible study once a week, so I feel like getting closer to God is going to help the bonding.
Sure.
Got a lot of great group of young men who work out in the weight room hard. They always go hard. A lot of guys push me as well, so I feel like my game has gotten a whole lot better. And I feel like the chemistry that we share. I've been able to take a couple guys out to eat, just to kind of hear their story, hear their why, and I feel like this is a great group of young men. I feel like we're gonna have a long stretch throughout this season, and I feel like we have the talent and we have the chemistry and we have the endurance to make it to state at the end of the day. So I feel like with
Okay.
me being added to the team, I feel like I just want to be able to contribute and just to be able to you know just give my all for these guys, because I know they've always played on the
How
line
have they received you? How have your new teammates received you? I mean, obviously you're not from there, so it's
for sure.
knowing you're an OU commit, I'm sure that that kind of helps with it a little bit. But
For sure.
are you got a few of them that you've connected with a little more than others? Obviously, your
Sure.
receivers, something like that.
I've been able. I feel like the locker room, has been great. Being able to talk to a couple guys off the field and on the field as well. I feel like the guys have seen me like really well. So yeah, I don't feel
Okay.
too much. So
Well, tell us about this showcase the other day, man. You had a lot of coaches out there checking you out, and you know, uh, obviously Coach Arbuckle and was out there checking you guys out too. How'd you feel like the showcase went?
I feel like it went great. Went great. Excuse me. I feel like I didn't really overhype it in my mind. I was just able just to head out there, and just do what I love, most, which is just playing football. Just to be able to go out there, with my guys. I feel like we were kind of in battle a little bit, just because we had the coaches. It was a lot of people out there. Like, if you guys think about it, it was the coaches and then a lot of more people just that came out just watch the showcase as well. So I feel like it was a great environment. I feel like all of us, like not just only me but my guys also did their thing as well.
Yeah, so it felt like it's kind of set up like a pro day would be or something like that. And how important is it to kind of get yourself ready for those kind of things if you're, you know, getting ready to, I mean, you know, you had Elite 11 and those kind of deals. So you're kind of used to these kind of competitions, but
Yes, sir.
how important is that for you, not just recruiting, but moving forward? Do you get like development in that and just more routes and stuff like that? Or
Sure. You just kind of just learn like with a pro day type workout what to expect. You know, when the big pro day comes, and I feel like just the repetition, just be able to show the versatility to the coaches, and being able to show them my arm strength, my accuracy. It's different seeing on film, like a lot of them said, but now when they was able to see it in person, um, their reactions spoke. So I feel like. Um, just to be able to work out and show them my body in person, because like my body changes like throughout the year. You know,
sure.
at the beginning of off season, I'm a little bit more chunky, but these past 8 weeks, these past 8 9 weeks, I've been working out like crazy. So
Yeah.
just be able to show them, my development, going to a different state, even the elements too. They even said it was a little bit windy out there, so I didn't really let that stop me. I was able to adapt.
Well, when you throw a ball like you do, the wind doesn't usually, there's some quarterbacks that, yeah, it moves it around, but when you throw the ball like you do, I could see to where it doesn't really affect it a whole lot. And you've been throwing it at sea level and all that kind of stuff too. So it's,
Yes,
a little different, but yeah, I mean, do you think people came away, what do you think that people came away most impressed with about the showcase? If you had to pick out something that you feel like you did well.
feel like probably them seeing me interact with different levels of guys,
Yeah.
freshman, sophomore, couple of those junior, senior guys,
Mm.
who will be on a big stage come Fridays. I feel like them seeing me kind of interact with them, being able to lead them, because we held a practice period as well, but we ran some of our own plays and had to work on 2 minute drills. So I feel like that was probably the best part, for me.
Yep. In your arm strength, you think that that's probably your best attribute, or you or
Yeah,
no?
arm strength, accuracy. So I feel like that
Accuracy is
was
where
a
it's
little
at,
bit
right?
for
Yeah,
sure. So
right.
that's
All right. Well, I mean, they're asking a lot of questions here. I mean, what about Does Soul Mission? We've heard it from a lot of recruits and their parents and stuff of how important Soul Mission was to getting them involved at OU. Was that a big part of the reason you guys had chosen Oklahoma as well?
yeah, just knowing that there's support, for the football players, with so mission, kind of really got us, really intrigued with OU, because we really didn't see that around many,
Right.
like universities. These universities are really built off the football players and off the football team, and they kind of just put all that pressure, all that attention just on the football player, but not the actual person wearing the helmet. So I feel like Soul Mission kind of broke that rule, and kind of just helped the football players off the field with different internships,
Sure.
different experiences, around the country, being able to build beds,
Showing
and
you how to be a man kind of
for
type of
sure,
deal.
for sure, and they give you like suits, teach you how to cook, certain meals and stuff. So they just give you those life lessons that that kind of be taught, later in life. But getting it early only helps you in life. So
No doubt, no doubt.
yes,
Yeah,
sir.
and I mean, they take these mission trips and stuff like that. They were in Brazil this year, so that was pretty awesome stuff. But,
So,
um, so we know you've got obviously a lot of stuff coming up this summer. But what tell us about what your summer is going to look like? You know, Elite 11, some of this other stuff that you're competing in. When do you plan on? Uh, what? Yeah, just tell us a little bit about that. I know you got to get here in a couple of seconds or a couple of minutes.
uh, yeah, I got a rivals scheduled in Indianapolis. I believe it's on the 25th or the 26th of June. I believe
Okay,
so.
cool.
And I have a couple official visits, scheduled up. OU being one of them, of course. Florida State and Georgia as well.
Okay.
So, and then Arizona as well. So,
Yeah,
we
where
kind
Juice played at, man. He's he was a baller over there.
Super Bowl, Ring of Honor. His name's in the
Yeah.
state. So, just kind of just keep maintaining those relationships. Those are some of the scheduled visits I kind of scheduled for this upcoming summer.
Right. Now, is the Elite 11 are you moving on in that as well and going out for
I didn't get the invite. I didn't get the invite.
Wow.
So yeah, I didn't get the invite. And,
Okay. Well,
yeah, I won't be doing
that's crazy for the way that you've performed and all that stuff. That's pretty wild. Okay. But
good.
it's all good though, man. Yeah, it's definitely all good. Good to see you're going to be going to Rivals, and then these official visits. How fun are these visits though for you? I mean, to go out and get to spend some time with these guys.
They're really good.
You enjoy the recruiting process? I mean,
Yeah, the recruiting process has been good. Just to be able to experience it like my dad and my uncle Juice. And now I'm able to bring my mom along, to some of these visits so that I could share kind of my experience with her, and allowing her to see certain aspects of like different states, different universities.
Yeah.
Like, because she's born and raised in LA, so that's kind of all she's kind of like. She traveled a little bit, but not so much around the country. She traveled out of the country so more. So I'm just glad I'm able to soon be able to experience that like with my mom, and kind of just show her kind of what my life has been like a little bit as well.
That's awesome, man. And obviously for both your parents, it's got to be a lot of fun to kind of go around and watch as this all kind of unfolds too. I appreciate you coming in and talking with us a little bit today. I know you got to it's almost time for school. Can't have you being late. But but anything you want to say to OU fans or fans around the country before we let you go?
Honestly, man, I ain't really read the comments that much, but I'm seeing that things scroll down. So just thank y'all for the love. Uh, you know, just thank y'all for the questions, for interacting. I feel like with AI and social media nowadays, you lost the interaction part, but just thank y'all for interacting with me, and thank you for having me as well. So it's great.
Man, it's fun talking to you, man. We'll definitely get together anytime you guys want to, and we'll be, I'll keep in touch with your pops a lot. So I'm excited about the opportunity to get to watch you kind of grow this year, and maybe we'll be able to get out there and watch you play a little bit this year too, man. I'm excited to see it.
If possible. So just thank you for having me on, sir.
Hey, man, have a good one.
Yes, sir. You too as well.
Jaden O'Neal, 4-star Oklahoma commit at quarterback. We want to thank him for joining the show. Thank you guys for being in there and talking about, I think a lot of the stuff that we've been talking about, I think there's a lot of controversy surrounding what's going on with that, because it's rare that you see two blue chip type players like him and Bowe Bentley be recruited at the same time in the same class, right? You'll have multiple guys from different classes. You'll see that. But I would tell you that it's more rare if you're going to see in the same one, right? But I do think that, I mean, from everything that I can tell from him, you keep hearing that he is committed. I mean, obviously he's committed because he's here in Oklahoma. So excited for him, and wherever he ends up, I'm excited for him anyway. This is what a good kid. And I know you guys were saying it a lot in there as well. And I appreciate that, because it's a lot of fun whenever you get to talk to some of these kids about their future and stuff like that. And you could tell he was having a blast. I tried to pull up that video, but for whatever reason, it wasn't showing on the screen, but he was there. It was almost like out of the program. If you guys have watched the program, Jaden O'Neal's visit to Florida State, man, they gave him the program treatment. So it was pretty cool. Hey, man, we already got our next guest. Part of Big Monday. My boy, Big Mike Boganowski. Or maybe not. We lost him. Might be right back. See how it goes. All right. He'll be back. Hey, man, appreciate it. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Close enough. I think I'll go watch him play next year. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I'm planning to be at a lot of games, so, wouldn't hurt to go a day early and go check him out some. So I'm excited about it. I can't wait to get to check him out. I'm ready for football season, period, man. These off seasons feel longer and longer. Keep feeling longer and longer. What's up, Sooner in Texas? Coach Ricks, what's up, my guy? Got a super chat from Coach Ricks. Question is, who does Jaden compare his type of? Oh man, I'm a little late on that. He's gone, but we'll get more on that later on. But I appreciate the super chat. Hope you're enjoying Mexico down there. What's up there, Big Bowe?
What up? What up, man? What up? How'd that combo go, man?
It was good, man. He's a good kid. I enjoy talking to him, and he's down to earth. You know what I mean? He's enjoying the process, I think. But his showcase went really well for everything that I've heard from Monday. It went really well. So it was good to get to talk to him, talk to his dad a little bit and stuff, and good guy to talk to as well. So that was good.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Shout out to O'Neals, bro. Shout out to O'Neals. Hopefully they end up in Norman for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's like Urban Ninja saying if we don't get a big miss. I agree. I'm excited for the opportunity of having them. This is part of that recruiting process. When there's competition or whatever. But it feels like you just never know what's going to happen anyway until the end anyway. So I think that he's clearly committed to Oklahoma. He lives in Oklahoma now, coming from California. So
I mean, you don't commit harder than that by moving from Cali to OU or to Oklahoma.
Yeah. So and I think that's one of the things that most of the fans and the folks that are in here in the chat. What's up, K Chris? I think that's the biggest thing that I keep saying. His loyalty to the program, even after, because Seth Luttrell's the one that obviously recruited him, but he stayed loyal to the program. So, Coach Arbuckle was out there checking him out. They've had good interactions from what I could tell. Maybe it's not as far-fetched as a lot of people were thinking it could be. I would tell you that I still don't think that you get two. I don't think you get both of them, but I think that it'd be good to get one of them for sure. And I'd like that one to be Jaden. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Where's Big Cuz at?
He should be in here. He said he was going to be in here. I talked to him last night. I sent him he got the link. It's there. And then we'll have Coach Smook on here in a little bit too. Smook.
Old Sawchuck showing up at Florida State, bro.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about some of that stuff too. It's a lot of, the portal does what it does, and I think that obviously when Jaden Ott came in, you had to expect that at least one more guy was probably going to leave.
Let me tell you something, man. Can I don't know if I've shared my take.
I don't know if you have. Please
on
do.
This about the running back situation, and about that portal edition.
Please.
I don't necessarily like it, bro.
Okay.
And listen, man, if y'all ain't figured it out yet, bro, I'm kind of old school and I'm loyal to the soil.
Yeah.
And I'm of the belief that if we do what we do up front and bolster our O-line and our O-linemen up to snuff and have some pigs up there, some dogs, it don't matter what running back we got in here. He's going to look great. And that's just my opinion. Sawchuck is a home run hitter when given holes and given space to run. And he's a zone blocking scheme type of back, right? And I think that's what he does best. We saw it with Levy. But I don't know, man. There's just something about this that rubs me the wrong way. And that's just my opinion. It sucks, man. I like Sawchuck. His parents were real nice.
Yeah.
So and here's the part too, dude. He's like, he does great work around Norman, right? It's not just the football aspect, right?
I think you're right. Well, he was on the all works team.
Yeah, but
he was on the all works team, and that's a big thing to do. That's a huge accomplishment at Oklahoma, right?
Yeah, I know. I just something about it rubs me the wrong way, man, and I'm not happy about it. I'm not excited about it. Like it's tough, and I get it. They're trying to assemble the winning team and put together a title contender, but I think that starts up front, man.
It definitely does. It definitely does. I don't think there's any denying that. I would also say that Jaden Ott is a hell of an ad, though. If you're going to make some additions and stuff in the portal, you look at Jaden Ott, he was an All-American 2 years ago. I think that's a big ad. Now, do I understand what you're talking about? Absolutely. And I think that as long as more times than not, if you've been an Oklahoma Sooner, you're an Oklahoma Sooner. You know what I mean? And I think as much of anything, though, we didn't get to see enough of Sawchuk. But when you did see him, he was getting it done on the field as well. I would think that a lot of it probably had to do with his availability, though. We've talked about it a lot. A lot of these guys in that running back, they've been dinged up a little bit, and it's messed with their ability. I think just like a lot of the places that you talk about on the defensive side, these guys are recruiting over the top of you all the time. You know, I mean, it is what it is. But I definitely understand what you're doing.
Hey, listen, man, I just want you guys, I want you and everybody else that was not an Ashton Genty believer to keep that same energy of being in the Pac West and how that's going to transfer. All right, so all of a sudden he's in the Pac West. He's playing against Pac West defenses, and that's why he's not great. And that's why he should win the Heisman. That's why he's like now. All of a sudden we get a guy from out there, a running back from out there, and he's great. Like I just need consistency, people. That's it. That's all I'm saying. And I hope Ott blows the doors off, and I hope he's everything that we hoped he would be.
Bro, they played it. At least they played in the ACC. You know, and they were actually playing in the Pac-12 when he actually played it. He went against better defenses by a long shot than what the Mountain West had, and had 1,300 yards. Let's not talk. Don't be crazy. Don't be crazy here.
Yeah. Oh, now I'm crazy. Now I'm crazy because I'm spitting facts. Now I'm crazy because I'm out here keeping it.
Listen, I like Ashton Genty. All I was saying is I thought that he wasn't the Heisman winner. I like Ashton Genty.
Full 100.
You out here you out here flames flowing. What's wrong with you?
Nope. All I'm saying, bro, like y'all just got to be consistent, man. We'll see. I hope it works out, man.
He's a Sooner now. That's all I would say. He's a Sooner.
I hope it works out, bro. I hope it works out for the team and for everybody.
I do too. Let's see. Oh man, All-American when they were in the Pac-12. He's got to stay healthy. Everybody's got to stay healthy, right? And I would tell you that I don't think he's the only guy in the room either. I don't think it's going to be a one-man show by any stretch of the imagination.
Listen, man. Why? Why would they go get this cat and pay him the money if he wasn't the workhorse, the bell cow, a 3-down back?
That's just not what DeMarco's ever really done. I don't know if that's what Arbuckle is planning to do. If he's going to be,
you're making my point. Then you're starting to make my point.
I don't know. What is the point? Make it again.
The point is if the money that was spent, I would like to see allocation towards depth in guys up front that make your quarterback better, that make your running back better, that allow the quarterback to sit back there and hold the ball for those 7-step drops on those deep mesh concepts. That's what I'm talking about. We got a stable of backs.
We do.
You know what I'm saying? That's my point is we have a stable of backs. I feel like we could have I just view it differently, man. Up front, everything is about your guys up front. Because those guys make everybody better. That's my point.
Well, I think up front, they're definitely feeling really good about what they have up front on the offensive line now. I don't you feel that way? Hello?
Yeah, well, I mean,
you got to look at the guys and not even talking about the freshmen. Now, don't get me wrong. I think Fasusi and Foji are going to be fantastic. I also think Darius Papalava is going to be fantastic. But I'm the guys like Sexton being back and healthy, that if he's back and healthy, nothing but good happens. You got EPL in his second year and looking like he's going to be a starter at one of the guard positions. You've got, obviously, getting back healthy, but Isaiah Autry-Dent coming in and probably being in the 2 deep, I would think, at one of those tackle positions and being a part of that. You've got a lot of these guys that have been here the last couple of years. They've been brought up in the program. And I think that if you stay even remotely healthy, I think you're more set up to be able to deal with not being as healthy. I think too, if you have some injuries, which you always do on the offensive line, I think you're more able to deal with it at this point with this line right now. Do you not agree?
I just know you need depth and you need more depth. And when you think you got depth, you need more. That's all I'm saying. And I like the 2 guys we got from Stanford. Michaela and
Me too. Yeah, Michaela and what's the other dude's name?
Shit.
Let me go to the. I need to have the.
Yeah, but I like that, right? And we need more of that. More
and then of that. Simmons, you got Simmons on the other side too. So
yep, I like that. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. More. Right. So I'm like that Kobe commercial. More.
But in one when you start talking about running backs, you're talking about staying, sticking with the guys you already got. But you want to see more of these guys coming in from the other side. I think that they're doing really well. Right now they've got Logan Howland, obviously. He's still a sophomore. Heath Ozida, sophomore. Troy Everett coming back at center. That's where Michael would probably play as well. But you've got, isn't it, we were talking about, who's the other guy? Oh, Beklenko would be another one
that run through trash comment by BV. I felt like he was talking about not Sawchuk. Jesus, I'm stuck on stupid this morning.
Running through trash. You think he was talking about
back,
probably Xavier Robinson was good run. But
oh my God. He pretty much ran the ball all year.
Shout out to Jaden O'Neal. Appreciate you, man. It was good. It was good having him on. It was a lot of fun. He's a good kid, man. You can tell that he's got his head on his shoulders right. You're doing a great job with him. Thank you for letting him come on with us. Yeah. Let's see.
Barnes. Jesus.
Barnes. Oh yeah, Javonte. Hey, yeah. And that's the thing is that we know that Javonte's been the favorite of DeMarco Murray.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. That's what he was. I think when BV was in that pressure and said we got to run through trash, I think that's what he was talking about.
I think in the SEC you're going to run through trash no matter what, even if you've got a good offensive line. The SEC is, we know defensively speaking, it's the toughest. For sure, the toughest in the country. It's not. I don't think it's just about the offensive line or anything. I think it's about the fact that you're playing in the SEC against a bunch of teams that build through the trenches, and you're going to have to run through trash, no doubt. But as far as Sawchuk's concerned, I think, you're the Teddy and Gabe guy more than any of us here. And I like Teddy and Gabe, just not to say that I don't, but they said the guys that you saw leaving in the portal weren't really figuring to be a big part of moving forward. I don't think that the same with, I think Sam was really good. I think that it was clear that it wasn't going to he wasn't going to get a lot of time. He didn't get a lot of time last year, and I think that that's the other part for, I don't necessarily feel bad for Gavin Sawchuk because I feel like Gavin Sawchuk is going to get more playing time wherever he goes. And it's going to work out better for him. I think these guys, you got to, at some point, you're going to go where you're going to play.
Yeah. Hey, man, listen, I just, all I said is I just have a problem with it, man. And I don't necessarily like it. Now I'm nobody. That's, you know what I'm saying? Like
you are somebody though, and it matters.
But I mean, when it comes to the decisions and whatever that goes on in the Switzer Center, you know what I mean? That's what I mean. Like nobody gives a shit about what I say up there.
Yeah, I think that when you look at Javonte, he's had some really good games. I mean, I think he was starting to get cooking when he got hurt last year. The problem again with Javonte, same as Sawchuk, they've both had issues staying on the field, and I think that's one of those things that it's one of the things that you worry about. I mean, and this is one of those games where you're going to have some attrition in that position, so you want to have a bunch of them. I think the young guys, though, when you add them to a guy like Jaden Ott, I think that you have a nice stable there. And Javonte, obviously, he's a veteran guy now too.
Yeah,
I think he's probably going to continue to get. He didn't get in the portal, so I would say that I would suspect that he's going to still get his opportunities. Again, he's one of DeMarco's favorites. I don't see him not. But there's obviously not enough carries for everybody in the room. And so, I would suspect that Ott is going to get the lion's share, at least to start with, But he was hurt last year too at Cal, so the hope is that he's back and ready to go. I don't know that they would have went and picked him up if not, but injuries happen.
Yeah,
Wasn't Michigan trying to pull Sawchuk? They were. I think Michigan's in on him. Florida State's in on him. There's a few different. I mean, he's not going to have a problem finding a place to go play. He's definitely not going to have a problem finding a place to go play. Sometimes you need to change the scenery too, But right now you're showing Ott being the number one guy. This is, of course, according to our lads, and we know OU's not going to put out a depth chart. They don't do that. Xavier Robinson being third behind Javonte and then Taylor Tatum. But, you can't forget that you've got Tory Blaylock in that room as well. I think that I would not be the least bit surprised. Whoa. Just lost Bo. Oh, no.
Oh, you good? You good?
I wouldn't be the least bit surprised to see Tory Blaylock, getting carries and finding success as a freshman. I think that Taylor Tatum, we know that he's talented. You can see it all over him. The main thing you got to watch, you got to hope that he can hold on to the football this year. So we'll see. You've heard a lot of things about whether Tatum might be going to enter the portal too. He didn't. So I think a lot of times we hear stuff and it once it gets spoken into the ether out there, then it goes everywhere and everybody talks about it, right? So I don't know how much that was actually going to happen versus, just BS and rumors running around out there. I know Taylor Tatum likes to play football. I hope he can hold on to the ball this year. I think any one of these guys in that room, Xavier Robinson had unbelievable games for Oklahoma last year as a true freshman. So I'm excited about the opportunities back there. It's fun to see. They've been bringing up Andy Bass lately too, and I know he got hurt again last year. I don't know that they're expecting. It was at the end of the season. I don't know to expect to see him again. Now I know he had healed up pretty quick from the first one. But yeah, see, Ott and Blaylock, I would not put Ott into kick return. I just wouldn't. But and not if you're worried about injuries at all. I think you want him in the running game. If you brought him in, you brought him in to be the RB1, I think. So that would be tough. Just my feelings on it. But I'm not big on having big playmakers in your offense getting themselves hurt turning kicks. I definitely think you might see Tory Blaylock returning kicks as a freshman. Trying to find his.
Well, see, that's my. I have these questions about just is burning a year of eligibility on just returning kicks. I have a hard time.
Well, I didn't say they were going to burn his eligibility. I think if they're going to burn his year of eligibility, he's going to be in the backfield too.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. But your point brought me. I had these questions last year. You know what I mean?
Oh, I get it. I hated the way it went down with X-Rob. I didn't think that for him burning his red shirt. I love it that he did that and had such a huge game against Alabama. I wanted him to have more opportunities against LSU too, and he didn't. So and then, same with the bowl game. Where the hell was it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's something you got to think about, man. And I mean, I thought about it with my kid last year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt. I think the issue was that any one of the running backs in the room could have a breakout year, but they haven't proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that they have a breakout year. You know, you're right, Gonz, but I mean, this is where you start questioning what's, you know, you can, and I think that Chris Mason said this well, but you got to kind of give DeMarco a little bit of a pass because of last year. We know that, we know without a doubt that there were some struggles that were attributed to Seth deciding he was to make the decisions on who played at every position. And so, you know, the movement and, you know, it was just you didn't get a lot of what you felt like you needed from some of these guys. And then not even noticing in the Tennessee game when Tatum got dinged up, you know, he was.
We caught such a break in that game. Like he was concussed. The
He was
next play,
wobbling. I mean,
the next play they gave him the ball
I know.
again,
And
he
hitting
fumbled
the
it.
head again. Yeah.
No, he fumbled it and actually recovered it, which is amazing to me considering the fact he was stumbling to the damn huddle, concussed. He fumbled and then got it back, which is crazy to me.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, I don't want to see none of Bass this year. I don't want to see anything of Bass. I want to see Bass next year
Fully healthy.
Ready to go.
Fully healthy. Don't rush him into service. I would. That's where I'm at on it. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see the possibility of him getting hurt and you know moving forward or whatever. So yeah, I'm with you there. Still waiting on these other two guys too, but let's see. DeMarco gets a bad rap by fans who don't know. Well, I kind of tend to agree with you a little bit, but I'll tell you this. I don't think that that's always the case. I think the year before he got a bad rap because it was a weird rotation. There were some times that you didn't understand why. For instance, you know, the Bedlam game when Javonte hadn't played in a month and he comes in to take a direct snap after we saw Chuck go on like a 45-yard run. I didn't understand that at all. And that killed the momentum of that game. You know, he hadn't played in a month. You're going to give him a direct snap. Of course he plays hot potato with it. But that being said, and I've been one of the ones that's a little more outspoken on that kind of stuff, on what they're doing with that rotation. The hope is that they just have one this year that has some rhyme or reason to it, right? And go with the hot hand. If you're whatever it is, go with the hot hand. You give somebody a couple carries and they get some big runs, keep on running them. And let's kind of go with that, right?
Yep.
Who's attacking? I'm not attacking DeMarco. I'm not attacking DeMarco. Listen, just for the record, being an Oklahoma fan, how can you not love DeMarco Murray? You know, and I think a lot of times we forget that, you know, like I said, Chris Mason said, well, we got to give him a pass along with the rest of the coaches on that offensive staff from last year because we know that it came from the head down. You know, let's see what Jaron had to say. He was talking about the O-line. I think there it is. He believes an improved O-line will help the running backs also.
That's what I'm saying.
No doubt.
Helps everybody. Everybody.
Helps your quarterback for sure. Helps your running back. Yeah. But I would also say for the people that talked about how the O-line didn't do, there were times last year, I just don't think that you were getting the right reads because we talk about that Tennessee game. And if you go back and look at that, Javonte had on the fateful behind the line of scrimmage pass that turned into a fumble. Second time that he fumbled with, you know, right after Oklahoma had forced a turnover. If he hands that ball, and it's a counting thing that, you know, Gabe was talking about it on their show that night, that you count to 6. If there's 6 or less, you hand the ball off. It's easy. Had he handed that off, Javonte's probably still running. You know, it was a big hole. So it wasn't always the offensive line that was struggling so much. I think that their injuries was a big part of that. And you had moments where, like when Sexton went down, Logan Howland struggled in that game, right? Again, but he was going up against one of the best, defensive ends in the country. But that being said, he stepped it up for the next few weeks after that. I mean, going down the end of the season, right?
Yeah, man, we got to do better. We got to do better. We got to do better all across the board, bro. But again, you're starting to make my point. You're making my initial point. Why? I mean, I get the upgrade at the position, but going to the portal is not fixing being able to count guys in the box. You feel me? You see what I'm saying? Like stuff like that.
They also went and found another quarterback and another play caller too to help fix that problem.
Yeah,
count the guys in the box.
Yep. And did you watch Pikel's thing from On 3 the other day where he talking about Mateer and Jackson Arnold?
What about him? Oh, who said this? Who was it?
What are you doing? On 3 guy, JD Pikel.
Oh, Pikel.
Pickle.
No, I haven't seen this one. Do tell.
Oh, he just kind of said that if he did like a hypothetical, like if Jackson Arnold stayed at Oklahoma and with the additions that we got in the portal, he would have a better year and stuff like that. It's an interesting take.
I don't know that I would agree with that take.
Yeah, but that's I just
listen. I think that whatever happened, I think somebody said this. PG said this pretty well the other day. You broke him. They broke him when it came to JA, and that may be he got broken in the off season in spring or whatever, or maybe it was during fall camp. But he was broken and not getting developed. We know that wasn't allowing anybody else to really work with the quarterbacks, any of them. Even Casey, who was a quarterback, was getting pushed away. You had guys there that could have helped develop those quarterbacks. We heard one of the quarterbacks that went in the portal this year had apparently said something along the lines to somebody I know of, I got more development in junior high than I got here this year.
Yeah.
So, it is what it is. And I think that's where you have to be careful about going too far with Jackson Arnold too. But I would tell you that the difference in Jackson Arnold and the quarterbacks that I've seen in their first year or last year is that when the play breaks down, he breaks down. But Oklahoma quarterbacks get better when the play breaks down. The great ones.
He just seeing ghosts, man. he was seeing ghosts. Then that's about the best way to explain it, man.
It seemed at some point that every decision he made in the RP was the wrong decision.
He was hearing footsteps.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something now. I'm not saying he's soft for that. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I'll say it.
I get that shit, dude. Like, I don't know why anybody would want to play quarterback. You know what I mean?
Bro.
I'd question you if you're a quarterback. Like, I got
in the SEC,
right? You got a screw loose up there, right? Because
a bit, yeah.
But man, he heard the footsteps, man. He saw all the ghosts. Like, hopefully,
it felt like he had the yips, man. It felt like he had the yips when it came to just knowing the run or pass in the RPO, right? And it seemed like he was making the wrong choice every time. And that's a problem. And then by the end of the year, he was afraid to go down the field. I don't know why.
I do.
Go ahead. Why?
He was seeing ghosts and hearing footsteps.
Yeah, no doubt. Oh,
you gotta sit back there to let those routes develop, man. And when you're here,
go slap that ball out of his hand against Mizzou, didn't he?
No, he didn't even slap it out of his hand.
I know. I said it was a ghost.
That was a ghost for sure.
Oh man,
that was a ghost for sure.
Yeah, it was. Watching that at time, it was, man, and that's why, I mean, for all these OU fans that are upset and still not, I don't trust them and this, that. I mean, you go back and watch one of those games and you understand immediately.
Trust who? Trust who?
Trust the team to not go out and have the. I mean, after everything you saw last year and the way the way they lost.
Hey man, we all got scar tissue from last year, bro.
Right, yeah.
We all got
PTSD, bro. We're military guys.
We all got
PTSD, man.
We all got that scar tissue, that little traumatic stress going on, right? Post-traumatic seasonal stress. But listen, man, like, trust me,
bro.
That's why I'm taking the approach I have this year. Yeah. I'm not hype training shit.
Yeah, right? Well, I know. Well, let's talk about that, but let's talk about something real quick. Now, obviously, I talked about it a little bit with Coach on the show Tuesday night. But
Cancun Ricks?
No. Well, and Cancun Ricks. Yeah. Yes. But looking at the post-spring top 25 per Andy Staples.
Yeah, bro.
Now, not everybody over at,
huh? We're supposed to talk about that last.
We were, but we got talking about other stuff, bro. Relax.
Yeah.
So I just want to, I mean, my goodness. For all the guys that are around the country that have been chatting up Oklahoma and maybe more than we want them to, I will say this. Thank you, Andy Staples, for not paying that much attention, I guess. Although Ari Wasserman loves OU. He doesn't even have them in the top 25. He's got Nebraska in the top 25 and no OU. He's got SMU way up there and Texas Taco Tech at number 11. What say you about this top 25 there, Big Bo?
It's crazy. Like it's what the kids say, it's nasty work.
Nasty work.
Listen, man.
I found that offensive, sir.
Dude, that shit is wild, bro.
It is.
Like that listen, man. How do you have to? Okay, let's just go with the number one team. Okay, yeah. Let's look at. You signed a tight end. You signed a tight end from Cal.
Uh-huh.
That's your big portal addition.
That's what I'm saying. And I mean, they added a bunch of defensive linemen, but 5 defensive. You mean to tell me there were even 5 good defensive linemen in the portal? Because we know better. But they're number 1. Look, the number 2 pick, I have no problem with. I think that Notre Dame is probably the best returning team with the most opportunity to win it. They're changing the quarterback, but they're going to the one thing that you needed in that Notre Dame offense was to be able to throw the ball a little better. Carr, whether it's Carr or Minchie, they can both throw the football better.
Mm-hmm.
You know, their defense is still going to be nasty. That offensive line has been nasty there. They're right up there. I'm not sure that I believe that Clemson is really ready to take that step. I know they made the playoff last year. They got a lot of guys coming back. I do like Cade Klubnik. I don't know that I'm making them a favorite to win the Natty, but I would tell you that I think that there's more teams that can win right now than there have been in a long time.
Maybe I've interpreted this wrong. What is this? What does that mean? Like college football post-spring top 25? Like is that like post-spring portal, post-spring practice, like everything from the season up till this point? Like what do we?
The portal was still open when he put it out, so post-spring practices, post-spring games, I guess. That's what they said on their show.
Yeah.
Some of it, he did base some of it on the schedule.
Listen, what's happening now is exactly the intent and the reason he put this out. Mr. Staples.
No doubt. Oh, yeah.
Slap.
It
Yeah, he
was.
wants people to talk about it. He knows it's ridiculous, and that's why I don't retweet or post any of that
Here's
shit
what I
anymore.
would tell you, though.
It's ridiculous,
I've
bro.
seen
It's
him
not
double down on this on the show. He doubled down on it multiple times. He doesn't believe in the offensive line. He doesn't believe in the offense. I don't know why he doesn't. He doesn't, though.
He's not talking about Oklahoma?
Yes.
That's my point, though. If he has to talk about why Oklahoma is not in this 25, like, that's exactly my point. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Of course
And he
he does.
knows we're going to talk about it, and we're going to bitch and gripe about it and get him clicks, likes, and pull the thing up on his pod. On a pod.
I mean, it worked for JD Piquel last year.
Fuck out of here.
It worked for JD Piquel last year. They definitely aren't. They definitely don't say things to be the smartest guy in the room anymore.
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm just tired of everybody.
I can't imagine picking Texas with 40 new players.
Deep in their throat. I'm tired of it. I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired of everybody with burnt orange just gagging on it. It's ridiculous.
Glaze some more.
Boing boing.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, though. I get it that's their big wish in all the networks is that you have a burnt orange championship, but they've been letting you down for years, so I don't know why it's going to surprise you when they don't do it again. And I know that, look, Arch Manning is good for college football. People are going to watch because of Arch Manning. There's no doubt about it. But if you think he's going to come in as a first-year starter and be 10 times, 100 times better than Quinn was also ranked as a perfect prospect. He went in the 7th round. How is it that he didn't seem to get better from year to year? So why is it that everybody just expects that Manning will? And he's never started a game. First game at the Shoe, playing Ohio State. Then he's got back-to-back games against Florida in the Swamp and then against OU. I don't see them winning any of those 3 games. Oklahoma's going to be getting ready the week before the Red River game by playing Kent State. Perfect. They're going to be in the Swamp. If they win the game in the Swamp, it's still going to take a lot out of them. No two ways around it.
Yeah.
But what do you feel about, look at some of the rest of these teams. What are some of the other ones? I can't stand the Illinois pick. They were really good last year and won 10 games. They were really good because they didn't play anybody. They lost games against the teams that, I guess you're better because of Brett Bielema and the way he does things. I don't trust Illinois any more than I trusted Indiana last year.
I don't agree with anything on this list.
I think it's trash. Yeah. LSU.
Seriously though, if I'm gonna take this list seriously, Oklahoma has to be somewhere in there because they crushed the portal and they crushed the offseason.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what we're talking about. This is why I know Staples is full of shit. You don't trust the offensive line, bro. We're not talking about the regular season.
Yeah.
We're not talking about the preseason rankings. We're talking about post-spring top 25. Fuck out of here, Andy Staples, geek.
Yeah. Duke says Texas couldn't even win it all with the number 1 defense and the top 5 offense. And was their defense really the number 1 defense in the country? It was against the opponents that they played, but they didn't. Remind me of which offense they played that was really good. Because I don't recall them playing a really good offense. And so those rankings, there's lots of reasons that they are what they are. If you go back and look at the what is that number that they have? The efficiency numbers, the OU defense was the number 1 defense. According to the efficiency numbers. That tells you a lot of stuff. But you can go by any metric you want. We can cherry pick all that shit all we want to.
Yeah.
Oklahoma was really the one game that Oklahoma didn't do. I guess you could say it wasn't that they gave up 177 to Texas on the ground. Okay. Anything under 200 is usually pretty good, in college football. And again, they don't exactly make things easy on defenses these days. It's always
no.
all the rules are bent towards the offense. So I'm telling you, I think the defense is better than it was this year, and whatever. I don't see how everybody just believes in Texas so quick, and that the same things don't apply to Oklahoma or any of these other programs that they talk about as they do to Texas. Well, they've been recruiting the best in the country over the last 3 years, blah, 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 blah. But they don't have the best roster. Alabama has the best roster, and we're acting like they're trash. I don't care who comes in, who they end up playing. And I think at some point you probably end up, Smook should be here anytime now. But let me see if, I don't know. Where is he at? I think that Alabama's going to be right there. I think that LSU is going to be right there. And if LSU can play defense at all, I think the whole damn conference is in deep shit. We know that the one thing that they could do last year, towards the end of the year at Alabama, was play good defense.
Yeah.
Now they got a guy that can throw. They've got two really good receivers. Ryan Williams, there isn't a guy named Jeremiah Smith out there. He's the number one player in the country, right? Aside from Jeremiah Smith, there wasn't nobody like that.
Yeah, he's up
Cam
there.
Coleman was really good too. I'm not saying, there's not
he wasn't making plays like Ryan Williams, though.
Not like Ryan Williams. No. Yeah, but they may have, but they had to do that because they're recruiting number one in the country. Well, if you're getting all the 5 stars, that means you're paying out all the money. So that makes sense. But that doesn't mean all these guys are going to come in ready to go. You're replacing 4 offensive linemen. There's been talk, Mason was talking about it last night. There's been a lot of talk about they're not too sure about this new offensive line right now. And they're going to probably go through some, your growing pains are going to be, they're going to start off in the shoe with Larry Johnson, who recruits some of the best defensive lines in history. Yeah. They call him the Godfather for a reason. He's had 15 first-team All-Americans. I just don't see it. Georgia, I understand Georgia. Not everybody. I don't know what I think of Georgia. I think there's questions. They had to hit the portal for the D-line. They also had to, their receiving core hasn't been great. And I don't know. And you got a new quarterback too. I don't think that he's bad. I just don't know what he is yet. A lot of their best skill guys though are not in town because they like drag racing too much.
Yeah.
And I think that that's kind of bitten Kirby a little bit. I know that people want to act like it's not a big thing. I'm not even going to talk about whether it's a big thing or not. The facts are you've lost skill guys and players off the football team because they've had to crack down on it because Kirby's getting his ass in trouble over it at this point. Yeah, well, Giovanni
and DeBoer's going to get it done.
Look, Giovanni Bernard is not a joke. That guy can play. Yeah. And their offensive line is solid too.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Like sleep on Alabama if you want to, bro.
Yeah, it ain't me, man. It ain't gonna be me. It ain't gonna be me.
Nope.
Not me.
Nope.
And look, I'm not falling asleep just yet on Georgia either. But I think if we're talking, look, Alabama beat Georgia last year. Yes, it was at home. They'll get them again in Athens this year. We're going to find out between those two within the first, 5 weeks of the season. But Bama comes out, they get, I think it's Florida State first, and then they got Wisconsin somewhere in there. They're going to get tested early on. And I'm telling you, yeah, I'm with you. Kalen DeBoer, his second season everywhere he's been, I think he's lost out of 4 head coaching stops. I think he might have in year 2, he's lost like 3 games total out of 4 first year or second years at those places.
Man, that game in Tuscaloosa is going to be amazing.
Hell yeah, they want revenge on OU. Bad.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be amazing, bro.
Oh, make no mistake, they've got money for NIL out there, and they're ahead of the game on changing laws to facilitate paying players. Don't get it.
They need to make a new movie, Fast and the Furious Athens, Georgia.
Do tell. No sleep on Bama, but they don't have a big question mark at quarterback currently? What they have is a guy who's a veteran kid. He can throw the ball very well. And they have a freshman that I don't know how they keep him off the field all season. I don't think you can. Keelan Russell, the only player in Texas history to have a better record as a starting quarterback in Texas is Kyler Murray, guys. That's it. That dude is a baller. I'm just telling you. Ty Simpson, he could throw it. And that's what they needed. They needed balance because what Jalen Milroe didn't do well, and I think Jalen Milroe's a fantastic athlete. Fantastic athlete. I think he struggles with accuracy on those 10, 20-yard, 10 to 25-yard throws, those sideline routes, you don't trust him on those. And if he doesn't hurt you with his feet, he struggles throwing the ball. Now, he throws a great deep ball. But against certain defenses, you were going to have trouble with that, especially if he wasn't able to hurt you with his legs. And he didn't go anywhere on Oklahoma. So what you're going to get with no matter who it is, whether it's Keelan or Ty Simpson or even Austin Mack, I think you get a guy that can throw and make all those throws. And, of course, with Keelan, you're going to get the running ability as well. With Ty Simpson, they've got good running backs on a good offensive line. It's not like they have to do that all the time either. Cuervo tequila is so good. Ugh, bro. Maybe in Mexico.
Yeah.
You might as well be drinking, lighter fluid.
Hey, it's like 9:45 in Mexico. Maybe 8. No, Cancun. Yeah, maybe 8:45. I like your style, Coach.
Hey, this tequila is good.
Hey, just keep your clothes on, Coach, and no fighting. All right.
Yeah, tequila makes your clothes fall off, bro. Be careful. Thanks for the super chat, Coach.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We've never seen Ty play atop a team with top talent, first string. He's always been the finisher guy. Yeah. Listen, and I would say if your question is, what's he going to look like as a first-year starter? I think the deal with that is if I don't think that the hook is too far away if he doesn't play well, because from everything you've seen coming out of Tuscaloosa is that Keelan Russell has been just fine in the spring and looks like he's the real deal. He didn't necessarily win. I don't think they're exactly trying to start a freshman week 1 either. Right? But I think the longer the season goes on, the harder it's going to be to keep that kid off the field. And that's if Ty Simpson's playing well. I certainly think that if he struggles, it wouldn't take long to get the hook.
You need to. Do they got like tequila tours down there? You know what I mean? Where you can go taste like all the different types of tequilas.
Yeah, the their little booze cruise deal that they go to the different tequila plants.
Coach Briggs, I need you to take a little tequila tour and then hop on the pod. We need that Coach Briggs.
He started off wrong, though. He's on Cuervo, bro. This is going to be a bad day. Coach Briggs, stop drinking Cuervo, bro.
Dude, stop drinking tequila, bro.
That you've never heard of before that are 1,000 times better than that, Don.
Dude, just thinking about tequila makes me want to puke. I was like that. Hey, you ever seen that video of that girl where the caption is the only way to pronounce tequila? And she's like, I didn't know it was tequila.
Well, My pops used to tell me that I needed to stay off it. He said, "You're either fighting or fucking quit."
Dude. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Not doing that, yeah, man.
Tequila's rough.
That's terrible. I was like, you got me like trying to like wash my mouth out.
A little bit of tequila's
I
bad.
drank tequila. I feel like I drank tequila.
It's been a while. I like tequila though. But you have to. But here's the thing: I don't really drink that much anymore at all. But when I do, I usually have a couple of beers or whatever. But I'm better just to have a shot or two and be done with it. It's a better way to go. Is tequila shots? Bob says tequila shots is about all he drinks anymore. Is that bad? No, it isn't. You're the man.
No, if you can handle tequila, man. Like if it's like, yeah, man. Like more power to you, bro. Just give me a little bit of rum. Just give me some rum.
Yeah. Coach Riggs, man. He said Cuervo. Yikes.
Yeah.
You could have lied to us and we would have been better off.
No hiney biting.
No hiney biting. I ain't drunk. I'm just drinking. Yeah. Man, that tequila's monster, dog. I'll get you. It'll get you. Oh, dude. Yeah, that's some of the worst drunks I've ever had have been on tequila for sure.
Dent just texted me, said he ain't got no internet.
Ain't this a bitch? Dang, pay the bill, Dent. Dang.
Yeah.
No tequila shots. Got lost in Japan one night on tequila.
Like that's your. Why are you drinking tequila in Japan, bro?
Hockey time whenever you're over there, bro.
All day.
Come on, man.
Do they drink soju in Japan?
I don't know. I've never been to Japan.
Dude, let me tell you something. You ever had soju?
No.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't. I'm a bourbon guy. I like bourbon and I like tequila too.
Listen, man. That shit sneaks up on you, dude. Like you get the flavored kind.
Mm-hmm.
I used to mix that shit with Gatorade when I was in Korea, just so I didn't have a super huge hangover, because that shit made me so fucking hungover.
We always make left turns on this show, bro. We talk about everything here. Everything.
What's wrong with left turns, bro?
Huh? Yeah, you're not a NASCAR fan? No, you don't like left turns?
Actually, I'm not. I can't. I went to a NASCAR race one time, and
I did it in different ways, but it's fun. Go ahead.
Let me tell you something, dude. That shit was so damn loud that I didn't realize how loud it was, and
it's loud.
That shit was so damn long.
Where did you go watch it?
Kansas City.
So it's a bigger speedway, right? Like more of a
Now, I was amazed at how many people were there.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Like the tailgate scene, if you call it, is it a tailgate? Like everything else?
They can have 200, 300,000 people.
Yeah, dude, it was crazy, but I couldn't. I'm cool. You know what I mean?
I don't like that part. So when I was in one of my friends in the military's brother was on Dale Jr.'s pit crew back when he was still in, like, I think it was the Bush series, but it was the Bush series back then. So we got pit passes to Dover the first year I was out in Jersey.
Dude, I used to give those pit
fucking blast. It would now Dover. It is loud because it's a small stadium. It's like playing in a football stadium, and I think it's like that in I want to say Richmond too. I don't know a ton about NASCAR, but I know some. It was awesome,
dude. If Kansas Speedway,
Kansas,
I need to fact check that neither, because that motherfucker's big, bro. And if it's 50,000, that's crazy.
Is that right?
That's crazy.
I know the one in Vegas. Vegas has one. They'll put 200,000 in it for sure. That's where they do that EDC, the Electric Daisy Carnival, all those crazy ass, dubstep or whatever that they do.
81,000.
They get 1 million people for that thing. It's in the NASCAR stadium. They get 1 million people to go to that over the weekend. 1 million.
Yeah, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, 257,000.
Yeah, it's huge. Huge.
Bristol.
What was Vegas? What was Vegas's? Bristol.
Bristol's 162. 162,000.
And that's considered, yeah, they're calling it the Coliseum. Dover's like that too. What's Dover? It's fucking loud, dude, because it's enclosed. It's not enclosed, but like
they got all these. You said which one?
Dover. It's not. There's not that many people that go to it.
Texas Motor Speedway is 112.
But it's big too, though. It's a big stadium. It's just, but they don't have as many seats, I guess.
I see it. Talladega 78, Pocono 77. See, this one says Kansas Speedway 74,000.
Fact checked, Neilio.
Fact checked. Dover. Oh, there it is, 54,000
at Dover.
Yeah.
See, but it's loud as shit in there because there's some of the stadiums you'll have big open air between the grandstands and stuff. Dover's not really like that. It's wild.
Yeah, it's super wild, dude. Yeah, it was cool, but so like in the Army, so being here at Fort Riley, they used to have like shit like that where you could like, get the field passes in the pit, and like I would just like here give it to somebody else. You know what I mean? Like find somebody.
Pretty cool. It's cool watching it from the pits, though. Being in the pits with and we were, with obviously, like I said, with Dale Jr.'s team. I mean, it was first class. It was a lot of fun. Now for the Cup race. The next day we had regular passes for the stands or whatever,
Yeah.
And it was cool too, but that was a long time ago. It's been a long time since I've been to a NASCAR race.
Yeah.
But it's pretty wild. It is so loud. It's just crazy though.
Yeah.
But Bristol, I know they're more of a Coliseum type of deal too, right?
Yeah.
Smook will be with us in 10. I think he had to go. He had to hit the VA. Went to Talladega a few years ago. Yeah. What's up, Steele? Good to see you, man. NASCAR's falling off so much they have half the seats anymore tarped up with banners.
Old Greg Popovich is no longer the head coach of the San Antonio Spurs.
Whoa.
And transitioned full-time to team president. He had some stroke issues, man. He had some health issues that have been keeping him out.
Did he?
Yeah.
Well, he's definitely been wilding a little bit lately.
Yeah, he hasn't been coaching at all since like end of last year.
Yeah.
Last year sometime.
I think it was kind of time for him to move on, I would think. They hadn't done much lately. Welcome to the show.
Oh, internet's back.
Because
man, I woke up this morning and I'm like, what the hell going on? I know we paid the bill.
You sure about that?
Yeah, man, that's automatic. They putting in this fiber optic cable, man. Now we already got fiber optic, but I don't know what the deal was, man. And I stay in a two-story, man, with this tin roof. You can't get just regular signal with your phone. Damn, they got to go outside. So, shit, without the internet, man, you jacked up. Super jacked up, man.
No, dude, you can't go without internet these days.
Nah, man.
Can't do it.
That Wi-Fi, like, man, she walk around here like a crack baby.
Mm-hmm.
Walk around here like a crack baby, man.
No doubt. Yep.
Yeah. So, man.
It'll drive you nuts. And if your phone, as long as your phone's working, you can see some stuff, but it's not the same though.
No, it's not the same, bro.
It runs the whole house these days.
Pretty much. And I had to be downstairs, and you had to be downstairs in the living room to get a pretty good, reception. So It is what it is.
Yes, sir.
It is what it is.
Not to keep on the topic of racing, but you're not at a real race unless you have dirt in your beer. Dirt tracks are cool. The little small.
You know what else drove me nuts too is them little rubber particles hitting me coming off the tires.
Them fuckers are coming apart, bro. Those tires are always coming apart.
Yeah.
The
closer you sit to the track is like the worst seat.
No doubt.
Yeah, talking about racing?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we were just talking about different stuff, but we were talking about how did we get to racing?
Somebody said something about we only do left
We
turn.
jumped from drinking to racing, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
Not necessarily drinking, just tequila.
Tequila.
Oh, y'all talking that good stuff.
Yeah,
Oh,
because you like tequila.
tequila is the devil.
It's the devil now, that's for sure.
Make your clothes fall off, bro.
Man, it's different. I hadn't had none in a while, but every now and then, I guess. Special occasions.
What's your drink of choice?
I like that 1800, man.
Yeah.
That's all right.
1800. That's Cuervo too. That's what we were talking about. That was Rick's is in Mexico, and he's talking about drinking Cuervo down there. I'm like, that's like,
wow.
It's like drinking jungle juice at this
At
age.
8:50 in the morning.
What are you doing?
Dude,
And in
8:15 in the morning? Oh, man, come on.
In Mexico, though, bro, that you never heard of it before. And it's got to be a million times better than Cuervo.
Man, look. What's the other one?
The one I like in Mexico is called 30-30. It's unbelievable.
No, that's another one, man, that everybody, some St. Joe, Don Julio.
Don Julio's awesome. Yeah.
Don Julio.
Don Julio, yeah. I think the last
Don
time
Julio's
I had
very good. Cabo Wabo is another good one. I like Cabo Wabo too.
Yeah, I think it's funny how everybody wants to start their own tequila brand. That makes me laugh.
Well, it's like in the South, everybody's got a bourbon.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. Now I love bourbon. Now, buddy of mine, the one that we did the show with that does the catapult deal with us. He's kind of like a, he go to all these tasting. Yeah, man, he has like over 200 bottles.
Homie he's a real connoisseur of the bourbon, bro. You guys were on a subject I had no clue about, man. And I like bourbon.
Yeah,
I was like,
man.
holy shit.
Yeah, I like bourbon, man. And he goes to all these different places, man. And man, they send him bottles. He go to all. I mean, he can tell you every distillery in the U.S. He done been there.
Megan Thee Stallion's got her own tequila.
I don't want none of that.
Megan Thee Stallion. You don't want none of that hot girl tequila?
No. Might find me somewhere in the damn chicken coop.
Doing a smoking.
I'll be doing a damn smoking. You might find me in the damn chicken coop, dude. I ain't trying to do that, man. Not today.
That's funny shit. Remy Martin VSOP is the only thing I'll sip on. Says Sooners for life. Trace Generation tequila is good.
I have a little stash this spring at the tailgate. I have a little stash.
Stoops has a tequila? I didn't know Stoops had one.
Yeah. I think Snoop got one.
Stoops got a tequila?
Say what now?
Attaboy Stoops. Well, we know he was always hanging around. Listen, he was always hanging around with Toby Keith. The stories, man, about the drunks that Toby would get on. Toby liked to drink it up, bro.
No, he didn't.
He was. I told the story before on here, but I played golf with him in Vegas one time, and it was just pure luck. Me and CJ were getting ready to play at Bali High, right there next to the Mandalay Bay.
Mm-hmm.
And my buddy that got us on, he was one of the guys that he was one of the pros over there, but he used to hook us up on tee times. But sometimes if it was a Friday, you were going to have to go with pick up at least a third, if not a fourth player. Well, he came down and he was like, "Hey man, we got a guy that just asked directly for you guys." And I was like, "What? I don't know anybody out here, or I haven't heard anything. Who is it?" And here comes Toby Keith walking up. He goes, "I wanted to play with a Sooner." I had my OU hat on. And dude, we had a
that's pretty cool
blast with him. He's a hell of a golfer too.
Yeah, I heard
that
he
dude put
looked
away more fucking beer than I've ever seen anybody do. He was hammering.
Yeah.
he was
Hammering.
good, he could
Hey,
drink it now.
He was
Here's that
cool as
video.
fuck, bro. Cool as fuck.
Here's that video I was gonna tell you about. Let me turn this volume up real quick. Listen to this.
Thought that was a lemon drop. I didn't think it was tequila.
That's the only way to pronounce tequila. That's the only way to pronounce tequila.
Oh wow, man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That was great. I need that for a sound. I need that for one of my sounds, bro.
I'm gonna send it to you.
Send me that, please.
That's a classic. That's a classic.
That's fucking great. I didn't know what's tequila. Oh, that's fucking
there
good.
you go.
I tell you what. Hey, so Mike, I got Isaiah all hyped about the Kansas trip, man. We decided we are gonna come.
Bro, you do it. You better get them dates and lock it in, bro.
No, we're gonna do it this weekend.
Oh, you coming up there this weekend?
No. We're gonna
lock it in.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, dude, you gotta give me some time to prepare. Like, goddamn.
No, we'll come after my wife basketball camp in June.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
She has 2 camps the first week in June and middle the second week, and then we're gonna come that second weekend in June. That's the plan right now. So we'll be up your way, see what you're working with them bass up that way, bro.
I'll be in Goddard, Kansas. We had a baseball
okay.
team. Had a
baseball tournament. Okay, you got a travel tournament?
Yeah.
Okay. Where is that at?
Hey, listen, man, Wichita area.
Okay.
Listen, this is the only youth baseball like stadium or tournament that I've ever been to where they sell beer in the concessions. It's the only tournament I look forward to.
Dang, cuz.
It's crazy.
I've never heard of that.
Me neither, dude.
Not down here.
Crazy.
It's like baseball parents ain't bad enough sober.
Dude, I know. Dude, I was shocked. Hey, when we had our first game was like 8, 9 in the morning, bro. And I walked over to concessions. They had them shit sitting on there like they was for sale. And I was like, "Are y'all selling beer right now?" She's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh, wow." I was like, "Give me 2."
Yeah, you get 2 every time you go, bro. You don't never get 1.
Give me 2.
You get 2 every time.
Bro, I tweeted about it last year. It was wild, bro.
Hey.
It was crazy.
Hey, Jason. Last year, what were we at? Well, Ole Miss, I guess. And shoot, Jason, he don't. Hey, look, you go to the concession stand with him, you gonna get a beer, bro.
I was with him at the Red River. I know.
Why would you not? It's a waste of a trip.
I was with him at the Red River. I get it.
Hey, this him. Here you go, bro.
Yeah. Ryan Steve said, Toby's PR lady spotted my friend and I wearing our OU Sooner gear at a concert in Albuquerque. She brought us backstage to meet and greet. She said he always loves meeting Sooners. He does. And so what he did, he had a concert the next day and he gave us VIP treatment. And we had such a good time with Toby. My son was like, "Who the hell is this?" And I was like, "Bro, this is Toby Keith, bro." but we had a blast though. We had a blast. He was really cool, really cool.
Dude, let me tell you something, man. And Marcus knows about this, but like you go on an official visit, you know what I mean? And their dinner one night is catered in by Ben Venables.
Yeah.
Right. But it's in his airplane hangar. Right.
Yeah.
And you get like peep all his Corvettes and his car collection and his PJ, and he got a basketball like area in there. Dude, it was tight.
That dude could play some fucking golf too, man. He was a good golfer. A good golfer.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, by the time we hit the turn, I guarantee you he had 10 beers by the time we hit the turn. He's a big guy too. He put it away.
Yeah, he ain't a little dude now.
Yeah. Dude, he was
I met
legendary.
I met him at an FBU tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a son that played football. I can't remember how
Yeah.
long ago it was, but
You know, he played
I
in
met him at a camp.
like the alumni game back in the day.
Okay.
He got hurt too, didn't he?
Yeah,
He
he
like blew
did.
his knee
He
or
did.
something.
Uh-huh.
But
Well,
yeah,
I'll tell you a story about Toby Keith, right? So in 08, 09, I was in Afghanistan, and my platoon leader, his wife was the brigade PAO, right? Public affairs officer, which like so they would handle all of the they would handle like all the like USO concerts and just stuff that newspapers and people like that. Well, she was trying. Toby Keith said that I want to go somewhere desolate, like I don't want to go to a big fob. You know what I mean? So she was trying to send them where we were at in Ghazni province. She was trying to send them to our little fob, and it was just a platoon fob, bro. Just a platoon fob.
It's
But Toby, hey,
right?
they wouldn't let him do it though. They wouldn't let him
Hell
come.
no, man. That's freaking dangerous.
Oh, we had that shit on
Crazy
lockdown,
as
bro.
hell.
Don't even worry about
Hell
it. We had
yeah.
that shit on lock.
What's up, dog?
What's
Welcome
up,
to the
fellas?
show, Coach Smook.
What up?
What's
up?
good? What's good? How
Put
y'all
me in the
feeling?
game. Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Man, look, I'm in the game, bro. I'm in the game.
it's
That's
Friday,
good.
man. It's Friday, bro.
EA
What's
Sports.
going on, Marcus? What's going on, Mike?
Oh
What
man,
up,
it's all
man?
good.
But we just in here talking about sleep on Kalen DeBoer if you want to.
We were just talking about that. Yeah.
I literally just tweeted it.
Smook needs to hurry his ass up. Yeah.
I literally just tweeted about it though. They just did. Josh Pate just did his interview with him yesterday.
Oh yeah. Oh
yeah,
I'm
man.
gonna watch that.
And I don't think people like the more that you just kind of everything just kind of settles. Things that I've been saying, like this team is returning, especially on the defensive side, the amount of production that we're returning on the defensive side, and you look at the pieces that were added in the spots that they were added, you go and get an experienced corner in Cam Calhoun. You're returning a potential first rounder, early second rounder, and Keon Sabbs coming back 100%. Bray Hubbard was starting to thrive in the system. I mean, a high commodity at that strong safety, free safety look. I mean, and you got Damani Jackson, the first round corner. Would have went first round this year, came back this year, and then you go and get two of your top. I think they were Chuck McDonald and Dejon Lee were two out of the top 5 cornerbacks in this 2025 draft recruiting class. So Mo Link was going to get guys, developing guys that were already there that Saban left them. And then the offensive side, man, the receivers, Isaiah Horton chooses you over all the other opportunities where he could have been the guy. He goes to and says, I'm going to share the stage with Ryan Williams, Jeremy Bernard. And then you lose Ryan Williams for a couple practices and you're starting to see the freshman Latsier Brooks, Jalen Waddle 2.0, and Rico Scott, another guy, his name is emerging, and Jalen Hale, a guy that was trending to start last year before his injury in spring when Kalen DeBoer and the staff first came over. So I think Kalen DeBoer is real excited about what he has available going forward here with Alabama, especially on the defensive side. I think there's more of a confidence in his defense, and his offense is going to be able to come along regardless of who the quarterback is. And I think that's the only mystery of the whole process is finding out who is actually going to be able to.
Right.
Yep.
Just which one it's going to be. And I think that's what we were saying a minute ago. I said, I don't think it matters because I think Ty can spin it. And I don't think he's near as dynamic as what Keelan's going to be. And I was telling them, I don't know a way that you can keep Keelan off the field all year. I just don't think that it's possible. Right. Now he may be a starter later, but I would think that if you don't see Ty Simpson step up real quick and they struggle, I don't think that his leash is terribly long because you got a guy like Keelan Russell that can come in and be dynamic. And I think that this offense is going to be good no matter what. I mean, they've got really good. Bernard was unbelievable too. I think he's going to be a hell of a receiver. And then you've got with Ryan Williams, aside from, Jeremiah Smith, who else are you going to talk about at receiver from last year? It was unreal.
Well, the thing about what I see with Alabama is I don't think they have to have a man, that quarterback is really, really good to win. I don't think they have to have that. And Alabama teams in the past have had mediocre quarterbacks and still won national titles. So
Right,
I
but they
really
needed
don't.
one that could make that throw is what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
and I
They
think
gotta be able they gotta have a guy
yeah,
that
I
can
know that.
throw
I know that.
that
Yeah, but I feel
15
like
yard out.
I feel like he can do that. I mean, for what they need him to do, I think with the
Yeah.
receivers that they got, man, I mean, they don't need a savior at quarterback, bro. They got a lot of talent, you know.
Their
And
offensive line's good too, bro. Their
me and
offensive
you talked
line is
about
good
that.
too.
Me and you talked about that the other night. We was just chatting about Alabama. They got man, Alabama's a sleeper to me. Everybody's looking at okay, this, that, other, but they got too much production coming back.
And even in that, you say the production, like you look at the offensive production rankings, it's like you struggled last year, and you in some of your major efficiency stats, you're still a top 20 offense, still a top 15. Your yard per carry average when you did run the ball was one of the top 10 in the conference. I mean, in the nation. So you didn't run it enough, but when you did run it, it was actually good. So it's going to be a different thing having Ryan Grubb around, his experience as a
I
play
was gonna
caller.
bring that up too. Yeah.
Oh
I
man,
really
that's a
that
big addition.
that's the biggest. I mean, you could have brought back majority of that same roster last year and just gave Ryan Grubb the keys and put Nick Sheridan in the quarterback room to really tutor the quarterbacks like he's doing now. The one-on-one. Here's what we're looking for. This is what progressions we're seeing. This is why you should see it like this. That's a whole different ballpark now for Alabama's offense, and Ryan Grubb is just an experienced play caller. We're not going to sit here and act like he got fired from the Seahawks because he was a bad play caller. It's
No, he left with the rest of the staff.
exactly. So it's a thing of like it worked out good for Bama this offseason, and for people to be like Bama's done, just pump your brakes and think about the amount of production on roster that's
You ain't
returning.
getting it from here. You ain't getting it from here.
And go look at what you got in the portal. You go and get Colorado's top linebacker. This guy was getting Kai Hillis Green was getting rated as a first round draft pick, late first round, third linebacker off the board. So it's a lot of things that people just, as you pull back the layers, as people don't have much to talk about and they have to go and do research now instead of just go off of a big name title, what they say, then it's going to start becoming realization. It's going to be a good year for Bama. I really see it.
So you mean to tell me somebody left Colorado? I can't believe it.
What do you mean you can't believe it? It happens every year.
Hey, Coach Smook, I gotta ask you a hard hitting
I'm talking about a
question.
starter though.
All right, Coach Smook, here we go. Like I'm just gonna cut to it. Fuck it. Here we go. Are you drafting Milroe ahead of Shador if you're a GM?
Oh
No. I've been on this since before the draft. I've never had Miro as a top 5 draft a top 5 QB in the draft. I've always had him as like number 6, number 7. My draft order as far as QBs was Cam Ward, Shador, 1 or 2 interchangeable to me. As far as ceiling where they are, I think Cam is way more polished. You look at him, he's older. He's had a lot more time in the college game, but skill set wise, he's there. But when I look at just complete quarterback and what you can do, he fits both modes. He can improvise. He can extend plays. He did it his whole college career. I'm trying to figure out what GM saw what he did in college and struggled to get done and what he accomplished while struggling to get done. Can't say, okay, I got assets, at this level where we can protect them a little bit better. And in that tale, let's put more weapons around him. So Milroe, I still think he has a lot to learn as far as learning, dissecting coverages, what quick reads feel and look like, gaining feels off of reads, like everything that it takes to
He's
make
not
that
going to be able to
next
live
level.
off his athleticism in the NFL, is what.
Oh yeah, he went to the Seahawks.
Bro, he's gonna get banged, bro. We all seen him. He don't like to get banged. Like them dudes. That's why I try to tell people, man, that people in the league, those dudes are killers. Like they're gonna hit your ass, bro. And I couldn't believe that. I was shocked at that. That was crazy.
Well,
hey man, our Moosehead, that shirt Coach Dent got on, you ain't getting that, bro. That's player exclusive, bro. That was their workout shirt last year. That's
that is pretty sweet.
winter workout shirt, bro.
That is pretty sweet.
You know,
And
hey,
then,
Coach,
That's
if Cuz come on here and hit us with a little flex, a little slight flex. I peeped at the beginning too, though.
What's
I
that?
peeped you. He trying to come here and flex with some exclusive type shit, some player only type shit.
player only.
What
The
you
He
mean?
player
came
only.
in and he came in, sat down, he made
man.
sure it
Nah,
was
this
straight.
Stole that
talking about
shit out of Isaiah's bag.
talking about big cuz. Yeah, I seen that. I was looking. I was
Yeah.
like, that's tough.
Yeah.
Like I'm looking at this. I'm like, that's tough. You know. I'm like,
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh, yeah, he come in here, make sure it was in the camera and adjusting the camera and
look,
shit.
got the ring
No.
light set up perfectly. I see.
No,
I
bro,
see.
hey.
He got it in there perfect.
Right. Okay.
I
Okay.
grabbed the
big
first
man.
thing in the damn drawer, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like that. Okay. Okay.
Real talk. Real talk.
He stole that damn thing out of Isaiah's luggage like week 2.
No, man.
Hey,
Actually,
he did his laundry when he was home last
Hey,
summer.
look,
It was
no,
like, I'm just gonna
actually,
put that fella on the side of the dryer.
I saw Isaiah with this on, and I had this made. I made this myself.
Mm.
So
But I say that shit looked exactly like the ones that they was wearing.
I know it, but I
Oh, you
made
need the
this.
Jordan logo on
Is it noon
Yep.
yet?
You need
Almost.
a
We
Jordan
good.
logo.
Yeah, no.
It's
Oh,
almost noon.
it's 10. It'd be 11:30 where you're at. You got to go at 11 at noon.
Nah. I'm good. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna get off of here at noon, man.
Okay.
So just the announcement, yeah, and I appreciate y'all boys, for
That's good to see,
everything
bro.
that we've been doing on socials as far as sharing content. The recruiting thing has really been taking wind, and we've been getting across Mississippi, we've been getting across Florida, Georgia, like Tennessee, Coach Smook Network. We're starting to get some reach. And big shout out to Big Cuz above me, man. You did something big, man, with that. When you know what I'm talking about, man, and that was huge, bro. So but we got a little content deal for our gaming content right now. And we're really about to start getting into the recruiting space. We're gonna be gaming NCAA against other recruits. It's gonna be a segment. So hopefully we'll be seeing some big time OU targets tapping in on the Coach Smook Network here in the near future. But shout out to Ghost Energy Drink, man. We're gonna be on top of that, man. Shout out to him.
Hey, we'll get him on it. And we had Jaden O'Neal on here earlier today. 4-star quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's a big gamer or not. Jaron, you're in there. We got his pops in the comments right now. If he's in, man, if he's a gaming kid, then we'll have to pop him in to get him on to Coach Smook, and we'll get him in some of these tournaments or whatever. Represent.
Yeah, man. And it's not even tournaments, man. It's just a way for us to, like we've always done on the
know each
Coach Smook
other
Network,
and hang
creative, informative insight around the player, just to get to know him.
Yeah.
Talk about his recruiting process. Just provide that other side of things. There's so much other pressures surrounding these players, man, and this is just a way for that we provide some different content surrounding these young men.
Well, Smoke, you're killing it, man. He's celebrating a year this month on the channel, and he's already up to almost 3,000 subs.
Yeah.
He is
God is
definitely
good,
on
man.
He's been on a heater lately, bro. On a heater.
God is good.
Love
man,
it. And you're like 30 away, right? If you're not already a subscriber to Coach Smook, get over there and subscribe. Let's get him to that 3,000 mark, man. Let's
Thanks, man. That's all love over here, family. Y'all already know that. Gridiron, everybody, man. I love this family right here.
Oh yeah, that's how we roll. And we talk about it all, bro. You already know. Let's talk about this. Per Andy Staples, he got Texas up top. I don't understand it, but they do. Indiana or Illinois and Texas Tech. Texas Tech at 11. Illinois is in the top 10. Why? I don't get it.
They won 10 games last year. They returning 5 offensive linemen and their quarterback and their receivers.
I can see them competing for a playoff spot in the Big Ten, but I don't think they're one of the best 10 teams in the country.
I mean,
I can't take it. When you got that much production coming back and a quarterback who beat out Jackson Dart, everybody at Ole Miss can tell you that he beat out Jackson Dart, and they got a pretty good football team. And I know it's unusual and it don't sound right.
that's all it is.
It don't sound right. But if you look at, I was just in his dad's office yesterday. They got 5 offensive linemen returning. The quarterback is returning. They got weapons on offense. Most of the defense production is returning, and they won 10 games last year. So maybe that's one reason why they got him up, because of all the production that they returning,
Yeah. But okay, well, Oklahoma is one of the top returning production teams in the country. They're not in the top 25 at all.
Well, here's the deal with Staples. He, they talk about John Mateer and they talk about Arbuckle, but they talk, but they hadn't bought the stock. And so that's the reason why you don't have him in the top 25.
Well, I think it's what Bogue said. It's just knowing you're going to get clicks, people talking shit, because Oklahoma's got a lot of return, and that defense is going to be real. How you wouldn't put them in the top 25, but you got Nebraska and Tennessee that just lost a lot. They're still in his top 25. Louisville, come on, man. I like Louisville.
Well, the thing about it is, if
I like Iowa,
if this was a different person at on 3, you would probably be in the top 25.
Yeah.
Oh, no doubt. Ari Wasserman was telling him he was crazy on that show.
Yeah, his partner, yeah. And here's my deal. How in the hell do you put Texas at number 1 with everything they lost? And you got a quarterback that's not proven. How in the hell do you do that? That's a Manning boost right there, homeboy.
Bro,
that's a Manning boost.
If it was ever they give Prime so much crap. I mean, look what he's done with Colorado over the past 2 years, right? His 2 years there, roster turnover has not been a problem for him. And he literally was 9-3 regular season, right? 9-3 regular season.
Yep.
That goes a 5-game increase from the previous year. He's bringing back some of his roster. He went in the portal again, got some heavy hitters in the portal. Like, he's proven 1 year that he can do it. Where's he at before Iowa or Nebraska or Iowa State? Even with Miami, let's talk about Miami getting 20. Like, they have a situation. Is Carson Beck going to be healthy? And if he can't go, what's going on in your wide receiver room? You had 2 of your top 4 receivers hit the portal. Did your RB1B hit the portal too, right? For Miami. You lost a lot. And again, Texas, 41 players, was it, Jason? 41 players?
Well, it's more than that now, because they hit the portal hard in the spring, got 5 guys for the defensive line. I didn't know there was 5 good ones in the damn portal, because there's never 5 good ones in the portal.
You ain't joking about that, guys. I mean, everybody know how heavy Ole Miss hits the portal, and they didn't hit the portal like that. So that's telling me if you had to hit the portal for that many guys, you didn't have guys.
They have 41 that are freshmen or like redshirt freshmen.
Yeah, you didn't. Your roster is not. It's not Trump type.
Look, here's the thing. They talk about that they're the only team in America that gets that bump because of how well they recruit. They're not even allowing that for Alabama anymore, and they still got the number 1 roster.
Yeah,
still got the number 1 roster, and you got them at number 7, but you put them at number 1 because they're recruiting at the top. What are you shitting me?
I'm gonna be honest with you. My number 1 team, and I can't take it from them, would be Notre Dame.
I was going to say that. As much as that sickens
it is
me
what it
to
is.
even, but they are.
They are.
They have everybody coming back. Everybody except for their quarterback, and this quarterback will be able to throw.
And then they had an offensive lineman that started. They ended up having to hit the transfer portal because he wasn't going to start this year. So, I mean,
that one they got right. That one they got right.
Yeah, but he should have been 1. They should have been 1, not 2. Man, Texas should have been hell at the bottom of the pack.
And I wouldn't have been tripping if it was like Texas at 6-5. I can't be mad about that. I mean, but because they did bring a lot of talent in on this recruiting class.
Like where Ohio State's at. Why isn't it, if they believe so much in Texas, why don't you still believe in Ohio State like that?
Right. Because I feel like Ohio State at least they bring in a lot of what they went in the portal last year and got. They're coming back. What they went and got in the portal last year and got, they're coming back. So this is like basically another recruiting class coming around. So I don't know, man. He's kind of weird on this one.
No, he's drinking the orange Kool-Aid, that burnt orange Kool-Aid for real.
No doubt.
There's a lot of orange in there.
As two legends would say, he's drinking his own bathwater.
That's nasty as hell.
I mean, guys, to think about this, man. Let's think about a top 25. Man, the way this college landscape is shaping up, where players move in and move out, man, it's hard to say 1 through 25.
Of course,
that's something that
you're doing it on past, but
yeah, you just can't do it like you used to could do it with the, 7 years ago, man, it was easier to do 1 through 25. Now you got so many moving pieces, man. It's simply crazy. And I know
nobody's mad. It makes it. You know what? It makes it even better for when they fall on their fucking face.
We're not mad over Texas, but I tell you what, you tell me why they're number one. You tell me why, and then we can talk about it. You tell me the reasons why they're number one. Can't nobody tell me that.
I want so bad for Texas to really prove something, but I'm looking at this roster, man, and it's going to be hard in this league, in the SEC this year, because the SEC to me was young last year. A lot of teams in the SEC, it was either young staff, meaning new staff, young relationship, lack of continuity, however you want to label it, or you had young rosters being developed.
Yeah.
In a lot of key positions. I mean, Tennessee losing Nico is probably a big drop off for Tennessee, but
they just lost a starting safety yesterday.
I mean, Tennessee is going to be hurting, and they are in a better position than Texas, in my opinion.
Well, they have their own insiders that are sitting there going to tell you that they're not set up to win as well as the other time. He was talking about, it was Evan Veith. He was talking about the other 4 or 5 that he thought were good, like Penn State, Georgia, Oregon, whatever. And I was saying that he was still missing a few there. But I mean, look, how would you not? Where's the returning production? There's not their best returning production on defense. Definitely Ant Hill, like him, and you like Colin Simmons. But the rest of these guys, you go get 5 guys in the portal for the defensive line, and that's going to suffice. I don't know that it is if you had to get that many dudes.
Man, I think Georgia's too low, guys.
I do too, and I gave a Georgia fan a lot of trash about Gunnar Stockton, but I mean, Georgia's 5. They should be top 5.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
Just preseason. We're talking about what you have on roster. Georgia's there.
I see Notre Dame. Guys, I do not have a problem with Clemson. I know a lot of people might, but I do not have a problem with Clemson.
Which top portal guys, Drew? Which top portal guys? Tell me which one?
Who said that? There wasn't really a lot in the portal.
Who in the portal did you go and get?
That's what I'm trying.
That's what we're trying to figure out. You got Justice Terry in this class. We'll give you that, but like who? Like the portal, because your true freshmen not going to be.
They're going off of it. They're expecting a lot of real true freshmen because they have the number 1 class. That's what's going with it. None of it makes sense. They've got 4 brand new offensive linemen, and apparently they're not. From everything we've been hearing out of there, is that it's kind of starting to mesh together. A year ago, when they were talking about OU's new offensive line, it's just going to be bad. The O line is not there yet. Field D line. Okay.
Yeah. And, LSU is another team that I think could be really good. And
they could be. They could be.
They could be really good. I think
their defense has to be better than it's been, though.
Yeah, it does. And it got better. Yes, it got better last year than the year before. So if you look at it, trending, they're getting better on defense, over the last 2 years. So, I mean, it seemed like he just took some bunch of damn teams and put them in his damn hand and shook them up and threw them on the damn wall and see what would stick. That's kind of what the shit looked like to me. But
How's
I didn't
Auburn?
say it was
How's
tough. I
Auburn
said
in your
it was
top
more.
30? Like, how's it Auburn in your top 25?
It's not.
Auburn's at 13 on
Not
this.
in mine. Not in mine.
No, I'm
Yeah.
saying like I'm talking about this. How's Auburn at 13?
And I mean, yeah, he was talking about new court. He didn't want to give love to John Mateer being in again. Ari Wasserman's over there losing his shit about it, right? But you got Jackson Arnold or a true freshman, and we're supposed to think that Auburn is a top 15 team. Come on, man.
Nah, man.
If they play Jackson Arnold when they come to the Palace, that'll be the last time he plays.
Well, I tell you what, this is what we're gonna do. You got this panel right here. We're gonna put out our own top 25.
I've been doing one since last year, so that's easy.
I don't give a damn about college football post spring top 25. Give a damn.
It don't matter about that. It's just
it does not matter. It does not matter. You're absolutely right.
Out there, though. We need it out there.
Yeah, well,
and not even just I want all the people that watch these two shows and these three shows because we know that our audience is smarter than that and they pay more attention than that.
Facts.
And I would even you Texas fans, if you're telling me that they're an unequivocal number one, then I'm gonna have to say you're not as smart. But I know better than that, Des. I know better.
I mean, you take a team like Oregon, they're gonna be in the mix because they got talent on talent. They got the money. See, this is what I was talking to a friend of mine the other day. You remember how Alabama used to stack talent. Well, guess what, guys? Oregon has the opportunity to do some of that because they got good money. So they can keep a 2 and maybe even a 3 deep that somebody else couldn't pay. They could do that. So I'm not saying they're going to be national champions, but they're going to be in the mix because of the NIL.
So smart or shit.
You see what I'm saying? And I think that's what they kind of trying to say with Texas. But Texas is having to go to the portal. They're not getting guys that are already there and bumping them up. They're having to go to the portal to get it.
And they're not getting starters out the portal, bro.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's my big issue.
They didn't go and get Isaiah Bonds like they did last year. They didn't go and get, they didn't go and get guys that were day one players. These are guys that were struggling to find time. And yeah, they're juniors, seniors. I think one of them was a sophomore, transfer redshirt sophomore.
Jackson Arnold he's an Oklahoma in the top 25. Man, you drinking, man, early this morning, bro.
Hey.
That's for most of early this morning, cuz. Man, that's crazy. That's man.
Well, on the other one, Nebraska, I mean, that whiny bitch Matt Rule out there whining and complaining all damn offseason. And what have they done to be in the top 25? What have
they had a scrimmage at their spring game, though? Believe that.
They did what?
They had a scrimmage at the spring game.
They was physical.
They didn't have a spring game.
Bro, they scrimmaged at their spring game practice. Ooh. After all that shit, Matt Rule, I'm not having a spring game. Them jokers went ahead and played.
Drew, this is the whole point right here. They went to the portal because they lost 13 people in the NFL. I don't care why you had to go to the portal. The point is you're telling us that a bunch of fucking freshmen and a first-year quarterback are going to go in and win the national championship right now. Brand new to the damn team. Nobody else gets that treatment except for Texas. That's silly shit. Ohio State has more coming back than you do. What are we talking about?
Those top 5 teams, I don't have a big problem with, but Texas, I don't.
And it's not even a personal thing. I will put Oregon at 1. I don't think and I could argue Oregon being at number 1 over Texas. Like I could switch Oregon and Texas and be okay with the rest of this.
And
be like
put Notre Dame in front of them.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind Oregon. I mean Notre Dame being 1, but I'm saying like you can make a case for Oregon. You can make a case for Oregon being number 1. Like just preseason, just good talk. Oregon could be a number 1 seed. But Texas, they got too many questions. Oregon has. When I look at preseason rankings, I'm looking at questions. Did you fill this void? We don't know if Archie Manning is the void to fill for Quinn Ewers. He didn't take the spot from Quinn Ewers when he came in last year. He didn't.
Quinn Ewers, what round did he go in?
He undrafted or sixth. I think it was sixth.
And that's what I'm saying.
Why
So
doesn't Clemson get the benefit of the doubt for bringing everybody back?
What's up, Zach?
You couldn't
You know what I'm saying?
remove a quarterback that went that late in the draft.
Yeah.
Because if he was that guy and he was better than him,
Bro,
with all the arch, hype.
He tried to play him. He pulled Quinn multiple times and had to go right back to him.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
This is what they failed to realize. And then he did that with that talented group of receivers, that offensive line, that running back court. And now you're saying that he's going to come back and do that with a whole new group. And then you're going to rely on a defense that's going to see 9 out of 11 new faces, I think it was, or is it as far as starters, right? 9 new starters on the defensive side. You gotta come on, Texas. Y'all gotta pump y'all brakes. This is what Bama fans, and I'm gonna tell on Bama fans. Last year we lost all of that in the portal. As much talent as we had on roster, we lost all of that in the portal. Went in the portal, got a few pieces, but we had a talented roster. It shows. You win 9 games with a talented roster and a decent coach. But when we played against teams like Georgia, teams like Oklahoma had a roster of contingencies that had been in the system for more than 1 year. Like, you could see the difference when there's experience on roster. And when guys have continuity and experience together and build chemistry, it's gonna be hell for Texas. And I think they got Michigan week 2, don't it?
That's us.
It got us. Well, Michigan got us to week 2.
No, they've got Ohio State week 1.
Ohio State.
Huh? Oh man.
And they gonna be out. Let me pull up Texas schedule.
Man, what is gonna happen to the world of football if Arch Manning is not good?
Let's talk about what they have up front. Ryan Wingo, all the talk about Ryan Wingo, he had 100-yard game last year. One. He is not these other freshman receivers. He's not. Stop acting like he is. There's no way. DeAndre Moore, what has he done? They both had like 400 or 500 yards. Trevor Gooseby, sophomore, coming to on your that's who you got at left tackle. Imazulu, he's a redshirt junior. Cole Hudson's a senior. DJ Campbell's a senior. Brandon Baker, a sophomore at right tackle. You got a bunch of young cats. Jordan Washington at tight end. Arch Manning, brand new to it. I like Wisner. But y'all talking about CJ Baxter all the time, acting like Wisner sucks. I've heard you say it on this show.
I don't see it, brother. And this is a talented roster. Like, you can look at this depth chart and say, okay, this is a talented team, but look at everybody else in the league. Look at Georgia's roster. Look at Alabama. Look at LSU.
Look at Notre Dame. Yeah.
Look at, and I'm just talking about in the SEC when it comes to Texas. Like, you're talking about being number 1 in the nation. You're not even number 1 in the conference. Nope. Florida. Look at Florida. DJ Lagway and that.
Oh, man, that's
Florida. They go to the swamp, and the next week is Red River.
Oh my God!
They don't have 3 losses by then.
They might.
Me and Jason talked about this last night. Florida, I'm telling you, man. We talked about Florida and Alabama.
We were talking about it with Smook last time he was on too.
Yeah, Florida and Alabama are dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Are dangerous. LSU has all the potential to be really good because of the quarterback situation. And I think we talked about it last night. I think Nick then kind of made it up to the 1 spot over there. I mean, we know they got weapons, guys. It's always been their defense, been their Achilles heel. So you take that with LSU. But I'm telling you.
Hold on. I'm sorry, bro. Jason, pull that comment back up. Just leave it up. Go ahead, Marcus.
Which one? Which one?
The one you just pulled down about Jackson
man.
Arnold.
But
yeah.
but the thing about some of these teams that they don't really want to give you, I ain't gonna say the intel, because that's like on 3 they're talking about OU, they're talking about OU. Man, Florida, Alabama, I think are going to be the two surprise teams at the top. I really do. I think OU has a chance to do that. I think we got a really nice roster. I think we made some moves in the offseason. I think the running back, if Odd is healthy, you're looking at his man, he can take it to the house. And that's something that we hadn't had in a guy that could just take it to the house.
and
one cut, take it to the house.
Marvin Jones Jr., and Kendall Daniels, who both of them are kind of gravy on that defensive side.
But what I'm saying is
they have real upside to them. Real upside.
They got real upside.
Yeah.
To them. And that's what I'm saying. We're the mystery meat of the SEC. Pretty much. You know how, I don't know, back when I was in school, you had this big old glob of meat. They call it Salisbury steak. You didn't know what you didn't know what the hell it was. We call it mystery meat back in the day. and that's what OU is, man. We the mystery meat. Nobody really know what we are. And I'm good with that. I'm cool with that. I think we got some really good pieces. We added solid pieces. The pieces that we added were really solid. So it had a ton of production behind it. That's when the little bit of conversation I had with Nagy. That's one thing he talked about is going in the portal and getting production pieces.
Mm-hmm.
You better at least get it right. Pieces. You better at least get it right.
Yeah, better at least get it right. But what I'm saying is the Texas, those guys, they got, like you said, some of them wasn't even starters. Some of them was they were chess pieces.
Got a bunch of new starters. Period. They're all new starters, and 4 out of 5 offensive linemen new with a new quarterback. That's not going to be that easy.
This is what I said about Oklahoma last year. Jason, we went back and forth. I said Oklahoma feels 6-6 because of how much they have to get acquainted to what's happening. The defense is going to be solid. I felt like the offense was going to go as the quarterback situation went. And as it did, it really did. And that's what happened with Alabama. And you saw Jackson Arnold wasn't as good as Jalen Milroe. He wasn't as good as Carson Beck. He wasn't as good as Jackson Dart, Diego Pavlio, DJ Lagway. He wasn't as good as any of the those teams that ended up in front of Oklahoma, right? Mm-hmm. He wasn't as good as that. He wasn't as good as Mettenberger. And you see how that affected the game. So how does he do that at Oklahoma, right? That had that quality defense over there, and then go to Auburn that didn't have that quality of the defense, that lost guys off of that defense, they're bringing in a quality recruiting class.
Well, I guess they're saying Freeze is a much better offense coordinator is going to develop him. That's the only thing that I can see that they is basing this crap off.
But you're hearing whispers out of there. You're
away from his lack
of
arm talent, his lack of discipline in reading coverages. Like he struggled in their second spring scrimmage. I got dudes that go like my partner, DeAntoine Hood. He graduated from Central with me in class 2008. He was a 4-star. I think he was 4-star corner. Auburn signed. He's still connected. When he talks about their secondary, he gets pissed off. This is not a run league anymore. The SEC is not a run heavy league no more. We basically virtually become the old Big 12 with a little bit more style of defenses. And now you're talking about a secondary that struggled against a noodle arm Jackson Arnold and a young group of talented receivers.
He called his man noodle arm.
Man, Arnold got that noodle arm, bro. Him and Beck, I don't know who arm more noodly. And I'm talking about cooked well. When you put them in the pot and you boil water out of bed, ready to boil, and you drop it, and you just got to let it sit for like 3 minutes. That's that.
He said this man got a noodle arm.
What?
Oh man, that's crazy, bro.
But no, man, I don't get it either, man. So I'm right there with you. How does Auburn? I don't see Auburn in the top 20. They not even of the 14 teams in the SEC. What is this? 14, 16 teams now. They're not even top 10 in the
16,
SEC.
16, yeah.
16 teams. So
yeah. No, and even like SMU, hey man, please. I've been saying this about SMU since last year. They didn't play nobody. The two good teams they played last year beat them.
Let me ask you something, and I don't know a whole lot about this team. Your neighbor, and I know you covered them a little bit, Jason. Texas Tech, what do they have coming back to be where they're at?
No, they went so heavy in the portal.
Okay.
Guaranteed they're preaching about, they're talking all this shit about their one billionaire. Just so you understand, there's 8 billionaires at Oklahoma.
Yeah, man. We need to see them.
I mean, it's not like the money's not there. They're acting like this. I mean, this first time you got money, I understand, whatever. They've been gagging all over themselves for years. For years.
Hey, let's talk about Texas Tech roster though, man. Let's not sit here and act like they didn't go and spend that money wisely. Whatever they had.
They did go spend that money, but that doesn't mean they're automatically going to go out and win the Big 12 even.
Shoot, Ohio State did it. They literally took the Ohio State model, brother.
I'm just going to let you know. I'm just telling you, as someone who has paid attention and knows about Texas Tech, do not believe the hype. Do not.
I'm not saying they world beaters.
No, I'm not.
This is a different age of college football. Like, nobody saw Notre Dame doing what they did. Nobody saw Arizona State. Nobody. No. You get what I'm saying?
I agree.
I'm with you.
And Barry Morton had a good year last year too. Don't get me wrong. They were one game out of that. You know, they were within range of getting into the conference championship. They may have helped themselves in the Big 12. I still think you got to deal with Kansas State though. They got their quarterback coming back. They added some big portal additions on that side of it. I think that Avery Johnson is one of the best quarterbacks in the country.
Yeah, that's my nephew.
Avery.
Yeah,
he's a baller, man.
We related some type of way. I got to go do my checks, but he got to be related to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he a dog.
Scoop Boogie and Boogie Scoop. Avery.
That's when I started doing Scoop Boogie. I had Avery Johnson as my quarterback on my dynasty. Yeah. And I remember I did something where he broke a tackle and I broke up the sideline. I was like, Scoop Boogie! I started screaming. Yeah, man. He started.
They're going to have a new play caller. Matt Wells is going to be calling the plays this year instead of the guy they had last year. They're going to be fine. I'm just telling you, there's a lot of potholes that Texas Tech's got to get through.
But I'm just saying, they're a top 25 team.
I think they're top 25. I don't think they're top 11.
Okay, that's what I was asking. I wasn't asking if they're a top 25 team. Okay, cool. I got you.
Where would you?
We put them the natty thing. I don't know about all the natty part. I didn't say all that, man. I don't see all that. Man, but they are going to be good.
I don't mind Texas Tech. Well, when I'm looking at this top 25, I don't see how they're in front of maybe, LSU. I don't see how they're in front of Ole Miss. I don't see how they're in front of Michigan, BYU.
Wait. Hold on. Michigan, why are they in there? What did they?
What you mean?
I like Michigan's defense.
I like Michigan defense, man.
Yeah.
But top 25, no Oklahoma.
I understand that, but they went 8-5, and
they were not supposed to go 8-5.
They were not supposed exactly. They were not supposed to go 8-5, dude.
Yeah,
and they did. And
Sherrod Moore did a great job.
They got the win over Ohio State.
I love Sharon. I don't know.
They got the win over Ohio State.
I'm talking about anybody in this top 25. BYU, Arizona State. I mean, I like Arizona State's quarterback. I'm not telling you that I think that they belong in it before Oklahoma does. Iowa and Iowa State, get the fuck out of here. Tennessee. What does Tennessee have?
I don't know, man. I mean, shout out to my nephew Travis Smith. They got a talented.
Boganowski, what'd you say?
I said they got Aguilar. They got Aguilar.
Yeah. Okay. That's a tequila, ain't it?
I was about to say
that's that tequila talk.
That's that Blanco.
That's a tequila, ain't it, man? That's what I
That's the name of the quarterback that they got from UCLA?
yeah, I know. I thought that
Is
was,
that last name Aguilar?
yeah.
Taco Tech coming to Manhappy this in October and are going home with the 10th straight L from the Purple Kitties. There you go.
Wow.
That sounded like a messed up.
But that's hey, for a minute there, I messed around and thought you was talking about a taco shop, like a restaurant, bro. Like I had to read it. And I was like, damn.
Like,
I'm
like a messed up
got a new
model
taco
for.
joint coming to Manhattan?
There's some
Hey,
tortilla
Neil,
throwing fools,
Neil,
bro. There's some tortilla throwing fools. That's why.
Hey, Neilio thought I had a new taco spot in Manhattan. Shit, I got excited.
Yeah.
Hey, look at here, man.
Yeah, I still don't see why Auburn's there. I mean, look, I understand Florida all day long. I understand why they think South Carolina is going to be so good because they do really good at the end of a season when they've already screwed themselves out of something. And then they get expectations and Beamer gags all over himself like always. I like Lenore Sellers. I don't like Beamer at all. I think that he's too much of a clown to be a head coach.
I like Sellers. And I'm going to tell you something, guys. Sellers could have made himself a lot of money this year.
Shit, yes, he could have. He
Yeah,
did get him. They paid him at South Carolina.
Yeah, they paid him. They paid him.
but not as much as he would have made if he would
on the
have
open market. No.
when if Oregon would have got Sellers, we wouldn't be talking about Dante Moore at Oregon right now. That's confirmed. That they
And
wanted.
they probably would have got him too, bro.
Mm-hmm.
They probably would have got him. You know,
Imagine Sellers at Oregon right now with the receiving core they're returning. That'd be a problem. They could win the Big Ten again.
I'll tell you what. This is what tells me that this is why I tell you that Indiana didn't belong in the playoff. They had a 1-loss record or whatever, but this is why they didn't belong in the playoff. Because if they don't even believe in them enough to put them in the top 25 a year after going 11-2, how in the hell were they that good enough to be in the playoff last year? That's bullshit.
Well, what did they lose last year? That's something that
not a ton. And what they brought was JMU. They brought JMU and played a trash ass schedule.
But this
got away. The worst strength of schedule of everybody, all the playoff teams. Indiana had the worst strength of schedule. That's including their conference opponents. They played they had the luxury of playing the bottom half of their conference.
Mm-hmm. And I think they get that same luxury this year.
The only top half team they played in the regular season in their conference was Ohio State, and they drugged their ass.
How bad was
it was over before the first quarter was over. It didn't end up, the score didn't end up as bad as it probably should have been, but they got the shit kicked out of them. And then Notre Dame, same thing with Notre Dame. Notre Dame was beating the brakes off them. They got a couple of junk time touchdowns and made it look closer than it was. Notre Dame beat the shit out of them.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll tell you guys.
Again.
Hey, look here, man. I can't wait, man. I can't
wait. What are we
wait.
supposed to do other than talk about preseason lists, Drew? What else are we supposed to do but talk about them, bro?
And that's why I like the preseason, man.
What are you talking about?
I switched, like I've learned over this last year, y'all, and it's been a lot of interactions because of you guys, you know, different interactions with different panels and things of this nature. But there is a time where speculation talk is permitted, and this is the time for it. Like, I love the fact that Texas fans think that it's so good.
What else are we going to talk about?
Like, we don't have nothing else to go off of. We can't dissect spring footage because everybody shut down their spring practice access. Like, did y'all notice that? Colorado's probably the only team that I've seen, like, you can go on YouTube and look at Colorado's spring practice and basically get a look at how good Juju.
I think Mississippi State played theirs. I think theirs on YouTube also.
You get what I'm saying? Like, you can go and find teams. It's very few, though.
Yeah.
3 years ago, man, everything was getting put out. Everything, like, you knew every day, like, man,
everybody closing the curtains now.
Yeah. Man. So that's why I value the way we move, Coach Smook Network move. That's why I value the way we move, because you get to tell the story, like a real story, and the way you continue to build is by telling the right story. Don't push the media narrative.
If we don't start talking about it now and telling you don't belong at number 1, Texas, then y'all can't come. Then you're gonna,
they're gonna be back.
Now you'll be back. Yeah.
They'll be hiding from it.
Post spring, you can't tell me with the OU moves, and that's the whole thing. This is the point that you would make about Oklahoma with the moves that they made. They got the number one portal quarterback. They got definitely the number one portal running back in the last two portal cycles. Now, you added significant pieces to the offensive line, which was what was anything else that was wrong with it, and you just added another receiver, 6'4" guy he's gonna be a problem. Javonte Gibson will be back early. Oklahoma post-spring is definitely in the top 25, and you could put them in the top 15, and I'd be okay. I don't care if it goes any better than that. You got to prove it anyway. But telling me that Nebraska's better is a joke.
Get up or get down.
It's a joke.
Putting Texas number one
it's a joke.
It's a joke and a breakdown.
I prefer this though. Don't talk about Oklahoma. Leave them off the list.
Yeah, me too, Jason.
That's how I roll.
I get that.
But
again, what in the hell else are we going to talk if we don't talk about how flawed these lists are, which is exactly why they put them out. No doubt.
Who do you think out of all these teams has the best defense in the country?
On the top 25, the best defense? Notre Dame or I think the Alabama's defense is going to be really good. I like Florida's defense a lot.
I like Florida. I was about to say, I think Florida might be.
I say
Florida's defense is nasty. They got nasty
Florida and Ohio. I say Ohio State too. Ohio State, Michigan.
I say Florida, and then I say Notre Dame.
Penn State.
1, 2.
Penn State's pretty good on defense.
They are. They good on defense, man, but they have struggled so much on offense. They just can't get over
one there. I don't know if it.
Man,
helps or not. I don't know if it immediately helps or not.
I don't think Penn State is as athletic on the back end as Notre Dame, Ohio State,
and Smook. That's what's killing them. I've been saying that, bro.
If they get one
so robotic
Malachi Starks type body in the safety room or a Caleb Downs type guy as a strong safety, one shutdown. Penn State's done corners. They've done corners in recent history, but the middle of the field, them safeties and that nickel corner spot, they've had some guys that just get straight up burnt that force them into this bracket type coverage, and they don't get to allow the athletes up front to get unleashed. That's why that defensive end that went this year, he had to be a dog.
Dog. Shit, grown ass dog.
Bro, you are high. You are.
You know what I'm saying?
You got smoking so much weed, bro. Stop.
What?
You smoke entirely too much weed.
Entirely too much weed.
What happened, man?
What happened?
He looked as good as last year. Fuck out of here.
Because I got high.
You have smoked.
Jason, you see me checking around my desk, making sure.
Hey, man,
I just came from the VA too. You know what I'm saying? So we're good over here.
Not fake now.
Don't be messing with my stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Dude is smoking. He's been chiefing all morning talking that shit.
You need to go to the gym and work some of that off, man.
You need to holler at Mr. Nice Guy.
Mr. Nice Guy. I want to talk to Samson.
What?
He had sex with my mama. Doctor said I need a tracheotomy.
Oh
man. You know, that's one of those movies, man, where you could put up and you could probably talk about that movie from front to back, man.
Front to back, yeah. Just the way it started.
Man. Yeah, man. That's that movie's hilarious.
Y'all gonna go crazy.
Hey, look, so
don't be mad because we're destroying you in here. Come on now.
Oh, man.
People that are negative and voicing their opinion are the same ones that can't pay their own bills.
Probably one of the
Oh man,
Samson, stick by my story.
You're cool. F you. Come out.
Yeah, it's a great movie. I love that movie.
Best movies ever.
Man,
Yeah,
Dave
man.
Chappelle, man.
That's my
Yep.
dude, man. That
I
movie,
believe him, yo.
half,
I don't know
look
why,
at
but I
y'all,
do.
man. See,
dude, Half Baked and Friday, I could watch all day.
bruh, don't get me started on Friday. You know, Friday we used to do so.
And today is Friday.
True story. True story. We used to do every day on the bus my sophomore year. I remember me and like 10 of my partners on the bus. We were supposed to have quiet time until you get to a certain part after the railroad track. Man, we used to get on the bus and it'd be quiet and you start hearing somebody say, "Every time I come in the kitchen, you in the kitchen."
In the
and
goddamn
somebody
refrigerator.
else, somebody else on the other side do the next, and it'd be random lines.
Hey,
Bro,
Mhm.
that's the greatest movie of
ever
all
to
time.
me,
If you
man.
like
That and
80s,
Half Baked, I gotta give, man. That
they
and Half
there.
Baked, man. They
That
there,
and
man.
life too.
Oh,
Life.
yeah, life was good. Yeah, life
Yeah.
was really good, man.
That you gotta think
How
about
about
how many golden
I'd have-
comedians.
I'd have Peppy.
I
I'd
like
have Peppy.
cornbread.
He said,
You ain't
"Trouble,
have my
trouble."
cornbread because if you try to get my cornbread, part 2 of my killing spree gonna start in here on your ass.
Oh man.
I love that one too.
Hey,
That's
look,
funny.
Oh
man.
man. Chat, y'all just don't know. If y'all don't know anything about these movies, y'all ain't lived. Some of y'all probably ain't old enough,
I
but
guarantee you they all know those
y'all
movies.
better
Dude,
know
let me
about
tell
There's
you
these.
no
These
something.
are
way.
Let me tell you something. The first time, or one of the first or second times I watched Half Baked, like we couldn't get past like the first scene or two, right? When they first smoked weed when they were kids and they
in
were
the store.
walking on in slow mo, and like
We
this,
were
like,
really,
oh, dude,
really high.
we were on that shit probably 15 times laughing.
Oh man.
They're in
That's
slow-mo, but nobody else is. That was
Notice
fucking
I said
awesome.
rewound, right? Rewound
Yeah.
that joint.
Man, look.
I started eating that what's the daggone candy bar, Mr. Good Bar?
Mhm.
I started eating them because of that movie, bro.
Abba Zaba, you're my only friend.
Yeah.
All the friend, yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh
Man,
man.
that's wild and crazy.
What
Hey,
was the
Dazed and
dog name?
Confused was awesome too. Dazed and Confused, all right, all right, all right.
What was the name of
Yeah.
what was the dog name in Half Baked?
Killer.
Killer.
Killer, man.
Killer B.
Killer B. There it is. Killer B.
Yeah.
I believe him, yo. I don't know why, but I do.
Yeah.
Man, look.
Oh man.
Man,
All
it was
right,
crazy.
y'all. Hey, I gotta head out. I gotta
Everybody
get
gotta
some
go,
food
man. We've
before I
been
go
going
do
for
my
a minute.
thing, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, we
man.
appreciate you coming in. This see whatever we talk, we know we're gonna get into some football, but we're gonna talk about some fun shit
I
anyways.
legit love hanging with y'all fellas, man. I got a lot of
I
content
will-
creators
I
that I
will-
rock with, but
will
I legit
clearly-
love.
I will clearly send our shit off the rails. Like I'll do it every day, all day, bro.
What's beautiful about this show though, we just do that and enjoy it, you know?
Yeah.
But
It's
people,
entertaining.
it's interactive though. It's not just dead space. It's like it's interactive stuff that people can relate with. That's why I can rock with y'all. It ain't just reiterated, regurgitate, saying the same thing. Jason said Ryan Maytaylor looks good. I'm gonna say Ryan Maytaylor looks good, but his shoes look tied very well, nicely this last week during practice. And then Marcus come behind me and say, "Yeah, his shoes did look tied, but you seen them socks? That good boy." I get tired of seeing that, and I had to pull myself away from there on that Bama side. So I love it being able to come over here and kick it with some real guys, man. And we growing, man. We growing. I appreciate y'all for
Hey,
having
man,
me on for real.
Blowing up, bro. Keep blowing up.
Before I hop off here, man, y'all go follow my middle son. All right. Marcus Boganowski.
Okay, we got that.
Marcus Bogey 1. MarcusBogie 1 on Twitter.
All right, you trying to get
Got
his
it.
stuff going. I got you.
Bro,
Got
we're
it.
gonna,
I'm gonna hit the. Hey, look, I'm gonna hit. If we get ready to go hit the gym, brother down about.
7. Go follow him.
He's on Twitter.
Marcus Bogey
and
1.
whatever. Marcus Bogey
Yep.
1. I got you.
Yeah.
We'll put it in I'll put it in the
Here we go. Let's get it, man. Hey, I was looking at his followers, bro. This dude got so many damn coaches, big time coaches and college coaches following him because of his older brother. And I said, bro, we gotta even this out, bro. You can't just have like Coach Venables and you know Coach Norvell and all these people following you. I was like, you need some regular people on there, man. Your account looks fake. Like, go look through his friend list, bro. It's
I am. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah.
It was wild, bro. All
It's
the
right there. It's right there, but it's right above it. Right there. At Marcus Bogey1 on Twitter.
Get
Bo,
on
you
there.
finna
Let
hit.
me
You
some
finna
more.
hit the. You finna hit the gym, man.
Yeah, man. I gotta. My wife's playing in a scramble with her friends today. She left her jacket, so I gotta go run her that. But yeah, I'm gonna probably go out. I got some shit I gotta do in the yard, but we'll see.
Yeah, I gotta get some work done too. So
Yeah,
All
I
right,
gotta get back.
fellas.
I gotta get back in this gym, man. Shoot, I'm down 27 pounds, bro. I'm trying to get
27.
yeah.
I was about to
27.
down
say
to
your
2.7.
your face look like you slimming down, man.
Hey, look, man, I'm finna get down to pimp side, baby.
Pimp hand strong. Keep your pimp hand strong, pimping. Keep pimp hand
Oh, my
strong.
old football coach used to say when we was in there, we come back from the summer, everybody been and gained a bunch of weight. He's like, oh yeah. We got to get y'all back down to pimp side. That's why I got that from. Old Coach Cursing, man. Denver, Colorado, man. He's a good dude, man. Good dude.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Well, man, we appreciate all y'all coming in. Coach Smook, make sure you guys get over and check him out. Same with Marcus Dent on the Gridiron Insight. And Bogue gets fun follow on Twitter himself.
He's a Twitter streak
Yeah,
king.
he's a Twitter.
He the king around here.
So make sure you guys are over. Which tell us yours again. It's big. It's Mike Bog 19 something.
Let me tell you something. I gotta go look at my own shit, bro.
Mike Bogue 80.
Mike Bogue 80.
Mike Bogue 80. Mike Bogue
Okay.
80. Got it. Yep.
That's
So
cool,
make sure you
man.
guys are checking everybody out everywhere. Hey guys, thanks a lot for coming in. We'll see you all on the next one.
For sure.
Before I go, shout out to Jaden O'Neal and his pops Jaron as well. Appreciate you coming on, Jaden, and make sure you guys go back if you came in late. Get back there and check out the interview with Jaden O'Neal. Have a good one.